Good evening from the United Kingdom. My name is Sho, and I'm here this evening just to have a chit chat with a few of our people who will be interested in the topic I promised to run during the week. If you remember clearly, I said on Saturday when I was hosting that I would come during the week and we would discuss this particular topic. As you can see from the header or from the title, I've decided to title this the Unlimited ATM, Unlimited Abroad ATM. This is before I go on, let me wish our brothers and sisters in the US a happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you all have reasons to give thanks. Don't forget us, send our turkey to the UK, please. We'll be very interested in the turkey that you will send to us. I hope you guys are having a good one. So back to the topic. We're going to be discussing what I've titled the Unlimited Abroad ATM. There'll be a lot of going here and there. We would get to the topic eventually and we'll discuss it in depth. And I would appreciate if, a few people would join. I will send out the link in a minute. I'll just have a bit of a monologue. I'll send out the link eventually and we can have a discussion. But I would branch here and there. Yorubas will say, Ibitan lo jina, ibita ya lo po, which means where will they go not too far? Now the places where we branch, now in plenty. So this might feel like one of those where you're thinking this guy said he's going to talk about, the unlimited ATM somewhere in the UK or in the US or Canada, but he's talking about football. Well, this is off the back of the table that, let me get the name right now. 1 second. I think it's Mikel John Obi. That's the way he wants to be called. Mikel John Obi did an interview with Rio Ferdinand, and I'm going to be playing the video in a second. Shout out to Rio Ferdinand and his team for the great work they're doing. They have a podcast that they run. So for those who love football, I would implore that you watch that particular interview. They spoke about football about 95%. The topic we've taken out of this, maybe 2% of the whole thing that they discussed. But John Obi Mikel did mention the tax that a lot of Black people from Africa often have to pay once you're in the Western world. Especially for footballers, it's a lot more difficult for them because their wages are public. It's public knowledge. Everybody knows how much they earn. So the tax that they pay, during the interview, he did say this. Let me share this with you. So that gives this perspective.
When they retire, after 5 years, after 10 years, they're looking, where am I going to get the money from?
Where's the money coming from?
Speaking about money, John, you obviously are Nigerian descent, and you see with a lot of players going back home, they go back and then invest and stuff.
Yeah.
Was you grounded with your decision making with money, knowing that you have a family back home and you speak very highly about where you're from as well?
Yeah.
How was that for you managing money? And did people like Didier Drogba advise you what to do, or was you trying to dye your hair like him as well?
I think obviously when you come from Africa, and this is something I don't think we speak a lot about. When you come from Africa, I don't know if when you make money, it's not your money.
Yeah.
It's not just your
it's
money.
the same.
You know what I mean? It's not just your money. You have all these relatives, cousins, whatever you call it.
Who you didn't know.
Yeah. And your sisters, they go off and they get married to some guy, who just wants to get married to John Obi Mikel's family, because then my life is sorted. And then you start looking after this guy, and you send money to your sister. The money goes to him. He does whatever he does with it. But these are the things that nobody know about. Your money is not your money. So you get a salary. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this aside for this person. Put that aside for this person. Put that aside for my mom and dad. Before you know it, you're looking at them. Where is it?
You're on less than them.
Exactly. You're getting less than them. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. And they keep having so many kids, and and you're looking at, okay, you're having this much kids. Who's gonna look after them? It's you. They look up to you to look after the kids, the husband and the husband's family. It becomes really absolutely
But that's the
crazy.
culture, though, isn't it? Like the culture that they expected you to do that.
You're expecting to do that. For them, you owe them that. And you think hold on a minute, I don't owe you anything, but no, you do owe them that. And I don't think it should be like, I was talking to Victor Sime the other day, I just finished, who's next in the
On your
pod?
pod, yeah.
So, and he also had the same, he spoke about the same thing, on the pod, the problems he's having right now with his family, with his sister, and with his family. So these are the things that, so sometimes you have to be strong and say, you know what, guys, enough is enough. I don't care.
When was that moment you said you felt you got
for me,
strong
that
enough?
moment came, I think about 5 years ago.
Raw. So led your career.
5 years ago, I was like, fuck it, no more. Because I've been doing this since I started playing football.
What's the reaction?
Are you the enemy?
The reaction, you become the bad guy. So they stop answering your phone calls. They don't want to call you because they're used to calling you, not to check up on you, to know how you're doing. No, it's about, what are you giving me?
How far?
Yeah, exactly.
How far now?
So
the fridge is not working today. Okay? It's going to cost 20,000 naira. Please, just send in the money now. And if you don't answer, then I know.
You're the bad guy, man. Seriously, and that's how it is. So you have to be strong enough. Because I remember my agent back then was like, Mikel, I'm telling you, you're gonna regret. You're gonna come to a time where you're gonna say, you know what? Why did I do all that? It's like, stop, because everything I was getting back then, I was giving so much to the family.
Because you're on so much as well, you think it's not hurting you. True, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so he was like, Mikel, no, you can't be doing this. You're killing yourself, or you're killing them, because all you do is keep giving, and they got so comfortable that they expect you to do that for the rest of your life. And it comes to a point, and I came to that point 5 years ago whereby I was like, you know what, guys, I don't care what you say, because then they give you this thing whereby if you don't do it, we're gonna go to the press.
Ooh.
Wow.
Man,
What did you have them conversations?
Yeah. You're thinking your brother,
Your family.
What? After all I've done for you guys, but this happens a lot
To all the players, a lot of the players in your
in
team.
Africa. I'm telling you, not everybody comes out and speak about it because we're thinking, how are we going to talk about this? But this is something that people don't know. You get threatened by your own blood, your own.
Do you know what we're going to do?
sisters.
Me and you are going to do a documentary about this.
See,
We're going to do a documentary.
There you go.
No, because this is a big problem, and it's a big problem,
man.
not only
It
in
is.
African culture, but in like a lot of different cultures. I speak to a lot of players who are from England, Ireland, Wales, etc., and they don't really have these issues.
No.
And there's only certain cultures you go to and you speak to people and you go, right, we're actually very similar. And there's a lot of similarities that I hear stories from, and now I'm hearing from you. It's a recurring theme.
It is.
Okay, so having shared that video, you all have, you get the drift of, where this is going. But before we get into the gist itself, let me just quickly, once again, shout out to Rio Ferdinand and his team for what they're doing. This particular podcast, John Obi Mikel spoke a lot about a lot of things. It was quite open, very articulate. He spoke about, for those who follow football, he was meant to go to Man U, then he went to Chelsea. He spoke about how he was kidnapped by his agent at the orders of the former owner of Chelsea, Roman Abramovich, who wanted him and hijacked the Man U deal. He spoke about the arrangement of his names. There's a particular way his names have to be said. People say Obi Mikel, John Obi Mikel. He spoke about that. He spoke about the player power that, existed and still exists in a lot of football clubs, especially Chelsea, with the amount of managers they went through. He spoke about the best players played against in the Premiership. I wouldn't ruin it for you, so I won't tell you. I saw the whole thing. The most fearsome player I played against in the Premiership, and the best player I played against outside of the Premiership. I guess that's in the Champions League and maybe international level. Spoke about that particular player. He spoke about his favorite or who he thinks is better between Messi and Ronaldo. The never-ending argument. So he spoke about that. He spoke about JJ, his talent, his achievements or the lack of it. He spoke about Telesin Babayaro, who played for Chelsea, paved the way for him. Spoke about Kanu, spoke about Drogba, how Drogba looked after all the black players, the young black players at Chelsea and the rest of it. So he spoke about all of that. So it's an interesting one. You would definitely enjoy it if you're into football. He spoke about how he had a meeting at 18 years old with Ferguson after he decided to go to Chelsea, after agreeing with Man U, holding the Man U jersey, then decided to go to Chelsea. So he spoke about his meeting with Alex Ferguson and the rest of it. So like I said, Ibita Lojino, Ibita Yalupo. So now to this topic now, which is that clip I've played. John Obi Mikel have spoken about the tax that a lot of people have to pay. It's easy to say, they are footballers, they make a lot of money, they shouldn't complain. Look at me, I'm only on $40,000, $60,000, or £40,000. I still have to do the same. I guess it's easy to say that, but even as a footballer, with the amount of money they make, I'm sure you would all agree that it gets to a point that you just get fed up. You're like, sorry, does this ever end? I didn't want to continue playing the video because not to infringe on fair use policy or whatever it's called. He went on to speak about you set people up. Your sister says, oh, I want to do this. I think he was speaking from a place of experience, or maybe other players that have shared the experience with him. Your sister says she wants to do this, or your sibling wants to do this, and you set them up. You give them so much money. In their case, they have a lot of money, and they give it to their siblings, and a few years later, they're back for more. So he spoke about all of these things. Now, it's not just footballers who experience it. I'm sure a lot of you would agree with me that even those of us who are not footballers, that we don't even make, God knows, 1/500, 5,000 what they make, we go through the same. And that's the conversation I want us to have this evening. Now, what I don't want us to do is just to bash the people in Nigeria, or if there are people, that are non-Nigerians, Africans watching this, who might want to join. I don't want us just to bash the people back home in Africa. I will share the link. AY, don't worry, in a second. I don't want us just to bash them and say, they did this, they all ask for money, that's all they know how to do. It's good to say that. Some people actually deserve to be told, that candid truth. But I also want us to educate them. It's an opportunity to educate people back home as to how things work in the Western world. Because oftentimes you see people talk about, oh, my uncle is in the UK. I saw someone tweet the other day and said, oh, my millionaire auntie in the US makes the way he put it was funny. She makes 3 million naira every 2 weeks, which is like 1.5 million naira every week. But she doesn't spend in naira. She makes the money in dollars. She spends in dollars. Her mortgage is in dollars, or rent. Her car note, as you guys call it in the US, is in dollars. So I want us to, it's an opportunity to educate people and also to educate ourselves, those of us in the West. If there are some of you that have found a way to reduce the expectations, what did you do, or what did you not do that has helped you to avoid this unnecessary tax that is keeping a lot of people in the West poor? People live in the UK, by the time you put your camera on, your house is all painted white, so it looks nice. Everybody who sees the picture thinks you're balling. The paint is white, there's less dust, so it won't look as crazy as Nigeria. So people see that and assume that you're doing well, you're rich. So it's an opportunity to educate one another, to say, this is what I do, this is what I don't do. I've seen people share their salaries with their siblings in Nigeria. I think it's crazy. Not intentionally in some cases, but once they know how much you earn, they instantly pick up a calculator. Now it's even easy. Just do it average by 1,000. That's the exchange rate. So people often calculate it and they just think, oh my God, you're on £3,000 a month. Wow, that's 3 million naira a month. I should be able to solve all my problems. I'm going to share the link in a second. So for those who want to join the panel, to please join me and let's have this discussion. Like I said, it's not just a bash session. We're not here just to bash people or bash Nigeria. And for those who are not interested in this sort of topic, please save your energy. Don't come and tell me, oh, Nigeria is burning and this is what you want to discuss. It's a topic that I like. I've chosen to discuss it. If it doesn't float your boat, just turn it off, go to bed, go do something else. So save the energy of Nigeria is burning. This is irrelevant. This is, save that for another day. I won't entertain any of it. Just saying. So I've sent out the link. I'll be looking for people to join. Let's have a conversation. I'm quite happy. AY, welcome to the show. I'm quite happy that quite a lot of Nigerians have moved overseas. I was looking at some statistics and I saw that Nigerians remitted $22 billion to Nigeria last year. Nigerians abroad remitted $22 billion. Between 2015 and 2022, we've sent home $168 billion. That's an average of $24 billion a year since 2015. That's how much we're sending home, propping up the economy and the lives of people back home, because most of these monies are not to set up any business. It's just for daily urgent 2K, hospital needs, school fees, and all these things. That's what we send the money from. And I'll reel out a quick statistics. Then, AY, I'll pass the mic to you. I'm also very happy that a lot of Nigerians are moving abroad. I know one of our panelists here doesn't like to hear that, forefathers, but a lot of Nigerians have moved abroad lately, and a lot of these people that have moved abroad in the last 10 years were part of the people pulling your, pockets from Nigeria, saying, send me money, send me money. Now, in 2015, we had 16,100 Nigerian students move to the UK. In 2016, we had 12,655. In 2017, it dropped to 10,685. In 2018, we had 10,810. It was stable. Then 2019, a big jump to 13,020. In 2020, we had 21,305 students move to the UK. And 2021-22 academic year, we had 44,195 Nigerian students moved to the UK. That's the highest number since independence. Now, these people now have come over the last, 7, 8 years. Now they can see what life is like. They would have a full understanding and appreciation of what life is like. I'm not saying life is tough. I'm not saying it's the same as Nigeria, but they can at least understand that the way the West is designed is not designed for you to earn and look after other people endlessly. It's designed for you to have a decent life and maybe just a little bit to spare. Maybe your parents or very key people. You can't save the whole, all of your classmates from secondary school 30 years ago. And for those of us who are going to be talking today, let us also remember, if you left Nigeria before 2001, when GSM became popular, sorry, if you left after 2001, then you had access to GSM. So maybe you, if you look back, were you also disturbing people that you've forgotten about? Because it's easy to forget and say, oh, they disturb me. But try and reflect between 2001, when we had GSM, Triumph and Sajem handphones came out then with MTN. Did you also disturb people between 2001 and the time you left? So remember, if you were once in that category, you'll be a hypocrite to now start criticizing people, without reflecting on your time. But AY, thank you for joining me. So it's not just me talking to myself.
Sure.
Obed, once your camera is on, I will let you in. But AY, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Good afternoon from here. Well, the thing it is a very good topic. What Mikel Obi said, I can't actually agree more, man. I can't agree more. And I'm gonna say this: it's actually the whole of Africa. It is a problem. But I'm not saying you should not help people back home. You should not help family back home. You should not help. I want you to pay attention to certain things he said. He said, after helping them, they still want more. They said they want to go to the media. I want you to pay attention to that. So what that means is it's actually helping, but people are not satisfied. This is where I actually have problem with. So what happened in most from my friend all over Africa, I've seen this. Like, it is a problem. I used to think it was a Nigeria problem. No, it's not only Nigeria. Where the problem is when a full-grown adult don't want to do anything. So what happened, like what Mikel Obi said, people will come into your family, they know, oh, the family have something to offer. And when they are not getting what they want, it's more problem for your sister. So I remember, I think a couple of months ago, even Victor Osimhen's sister and the husband, they went to the media. Yeah, on this issue. They were under the phrase live. Yeah, this is real life. They went to the media. Not that they are not giving them money, but it's the greed. It's more like, for me, for example, you want to help somebody. I mean, I would prefer like, oh, it's a one-time thing. You come and say, oh, you are really serious. If it's school you want to go, if it's you want to establish business. You say, okay, how much do you need for your business? Take the money. Now, you work hard and take care of your whole family. But no, this doesn't happen. What happened is they will still be coming back. They will send their children to come. They will say, there are people, even if you are a billionaire at some point, you get really pissed off. It's not the money. I mean, I have seen family that the smallest thing, there is light is bad at home. They will call their sibling abroad. Oh, my light is bad. I swear to God, this is real life. I've seen this. So this is how bad it is, right? So it's not helping. You frustrated the person because don't forget, the person is working hard for money, right? You are not even encouraging the person because if somebody give you, say, $1 million naira and he see you really doing well, he will even be encouraged to say, okay, let me even give you more. What if tomorrow, like, oh, the person is back home, he need assistance? They will have the thinking like, oh, he can assist me. Do you get it? So it's not just take. It doesn't work. And here is another thing. Some siblings, some cousins, what they do with their home money, you are stressed out, thinking like, oh, I want his children to educate them, put them in good school, encourage them, take the money. They will be building houses. They will be buying properties. You give them money for student school fee, like, oh, make sure you put them in good school. They are building houses. So it's really like, it's so bad. It's not to help. To help, we have to do that. But when you keep abusing it, that is what Mikel B was talking about. If you see him, when you listen to his tune, like, he was just frustrated about the whole thing. Because how do you even get into somebody's family and be thinking that, oh, because it's Mikel B family, he's going to give you all the money? No, it doesn't work like that. You got to frustrate these people. And they get to a point, they got to snap. When they push them to the maximum point, there is no way out. They got to snap, whatever. And that is, I think, that's what I think Mikel B did. But it is really, really a big problem. Like you said, we need to educate these people. Let them understand that, people are working hard for their money. So, and mind you, there are people that don't care. I have a friend that he doesn't even pick his siblings' call.
There are a lot of people like that.
He doesn't care. Like, he only talks to the mother, maybe weekend, Sunday or Saturday. That's it. If he talk to his sibling, maybe once in a while, maybe once in 2 months, he doesn't care. See your missed call to help. But those that are willing to help, they just want you to be better. They want your family to be better. Don't take advantage. Even if you are making your home money, like, you need to focus on certain things. Like, you need to make sacrifice. Okay, what is more important? Oh, let me focus, pay children's school fees. If you are paying rent, pay my rent. Pay little bill. Not try to. And when you now take it further, even some people, let's say you want to do something. That's the worst. You want to build a house back home. You give it them money. They just think you have the money. You are a billionaire. They wipe all the money. They're waiting for the crisis that will happen. They don't care. So it is really a big problem. I spoke with my friend. I remember my friend in Gambia was having the same issue with his elder brother. He's married. He don't want to do anything. This was a big issue. The man was threatening. Some feel they are entitled to it. You are not. You are not. So they need to understand when somebody is helping, apart from my parent, you are not entitled to my money.
So do you think it's cultural? Because if you listen to Rio Ferdinand, he alluded to, that he thinks it's cultural. he didn't mention the other people I think is referring to when he said, oh, Mikel, I think, I think we need to do a documentary on this, because he said the English, the Irish don't have this problem. But speaking to other players, he's had similar stories, and I think is referring to the South Americans who are very similar to us. So do you think this is cultural, and do you also think it could be deeply rooted into the poverty in these countries or in this
No,
continent?
it's not poverty only. Poverty partly, but why I say it's not. So do you know Paul Pogba case? Did you follow it?
Yes, Pogba. Yes, he had the same, and his
Paul
friend.
Pogba family are not hungry. These guys, Paul Pogba give them money. Even apart from that, they are also footballers. It's just that they don't make as much. I mean, they do it well. They live it
Yeah,
well.
they play professional football. Yeah, one
But
played
you
14 in
saw
Kenya.
what the brother planned with his friend, what they did to Paul
Yeah,
Pogba.
I saw
They
that.
frustrated the guy to the extent that he has to lie. Oh, Paul Pogba did this. He want to kiss Paul Mbappe. He want to do this. A brother. What that means is they can even kill you because you are not. If a brother can do that, your money is in his possession. He can eliminate you and say to hell and take the money. This is how bad. So I will not say it's only poverty. It's only poverty is part of it.
Plays a role.
It plays a role, but still, okay. What do you want people to do for you? I don't know if you understand. Maybe my thinking is a bit different, right?
No, I'm with you. I'm just trying to, because
I know.
I'm just trying to figure out,
I think
we're looking at the
it's a
symptoms.
form,
I'm trying to see what is the root cause. Is
I
it just
think it's a form
entitlement? Is it
of
a bit of
greed and
everything?
entitlement mentality. Because the blackmail comes, you give somebody money for the past 10 years. The day you stop, some of them, they are all out for you. They're gonna blackmail you. Oh, you don't help your brother, you don't help yourself. People that don't know the story, they actually think it's true. Like, oh, this guy, he has money, he's not helping. Even back home, it's like that. If you have money in the family, not only the people abroad. I have seen family that, let's say, one of them is rich, everybody will just stay back. So here is the question, right? If the person you are waiting on, if he fall down tomorrow and he's dead, what happened?
They move on to the next person.
So you see the thinking. I know of a case of a friend also. The brother was just giving birth. He's a teacher. That's what he was doing. Before he give birth, even from hospital, he start disturbing this guy. Oh, yeah, my wife gave birth. I need money for this. After the money, he's waiting money. He's asking for another money from the missing money. He's asking. So I was now advising him. I said, why don't you just help this guy? I say, okay, what do you want to do with Oppo a business? He advised him. He actually talked to him. He said he has 4 children already, right? 4 children. He said, you got to stop children. Just plant for now. You know what he said to him? He said, oh, I don't know. You don't like me. You don't want my progress.
Because they told him to not have.
Yeah, not because he's advising him, even himself. So what Mikel B was saying, you listen. The rich, they're thinking of, oh, now I have 3 children, man, school fee, how do I take? They plan, right? These people that are doing this thing, they don't care. They just give children birth to 10. They don't care what happened.
There's a joke someone told me a while ago. Maybe I read it somewhere that, the rich, their hobby is to go and play golf and tennis in the evening.
Part
but
of
the
it.
poor, their hobby is to go and attack their wife. So maybe that's why they have a lot of children. I mean, jokes apart, it's quite common that you see that the people that have less tend to have more children. These days, when I speak to people and they say, oh, somebody has 4 children, I'm like, oh my God, 4. It sounds so alien to me, like 4 children. What were you thinking? I don't condemn people. I don't complain.
I get your point.
Like 4, but Nigerians like to show off. We worship
the
money.
thing is, nobody, I'm not, if Dangote have 20 children, nobody is going to complain.
True.
Because he's able to take care of them.
That's true. Atiku has a lot of children. Nobody's complaining.
Don't born children and you don't have a plan, then you want to feed them. You begging how to feed them.
So the person that you're asking for money has 2 children, but you that you're asking, you have 6.
Yeah. So now somebody that is making the money. He has 2 children. So you hear what Mikel B said. Mikel B was really hard. He said, I'm asking, who is going to take care of these kids?
You can tell that Obi story was a personal one. It's from a place of knowledge, place of experience.
Yeah, it is. It is. So why I saw some people bashing him all like, no, nobody should bash him. That is what it is. It's very hard. I mean, talk less of we that are making small money. They're talking of Mikel B that is making. So they will hear, right? Like, for example, they hear, oh, Mikel B is collecting $120,000 pounds a week.
Mm-hmm.
That is the problem right there. They don't know these guys, they live high life too.
Mm-hmm.
They pay taxes, they pay bills, the security, they live high life too. They need the money as well. Because if you give all the money to the family, now Mikel B stop play football. Maybe he goes broke. You know what they're gonna say? Oh, don't mind him. He's useless. He play football. He could not help his family. This is what happened. So Mikel B was smart enough to know that. Some people even said, "Oh, that's why he did not marry from Africa." Yeah, but he's pretty bad though. Maybe some family are very lucky, but even some parents, they are horrible. I thank God for me. I have a good mother. My mother has. She doesn't care. Like, even for me, I usually tell people, for me, I'm so lucky. We are so lucky. Like, even if I'm going to Nigeria now, I don't have 1 naira, I will not be scared. My mom will cover you up. Nobody will know you don't have 1 naira. So that's my mom. But some people, I see some of my friends, they are not just lucky. I know of a friend that the father will stay at the bank. He will call them from bank. He will tell you, oh, I'm at the bank now. Transfer the money into my account. It's a real life story. I'm telling you. So it's really bad, though. It's really bad.
So I hear that. And you know, off the back of what you just said, when this Mikel interview came out, me and a few of my friends, we have a group chat, WhatsApp group chat, and I sent the video there. And one of my friends said, "Oh, you know, Mikel is an idiot or something like that." I think a bit of football rivalry came into it because my friend is a big Arsenal fan, and of course, he hates Chelsea with every fiber in him. So he said, "Oh, Mikel is an idiot," blah blah blah. So I was like, "Oh, that's a bit unlike you. Why would you just say he's an idiot?" So we got talking in the group chat, 5 of us, and he said, you know, that if people have, you know, that people must have helped Mikel along the way. And I'm thinking, is this my friend saying all of this? So I said to him, I said, I think you don't experience what Mikel is going through, because my friend is from a family of 5 siblings. There are 5 of them. 4 of them live in the UK. 1 lives in Nigeria. She's married and her husband is in the US. She might be on her way to the US at some point. I'm not too sure. But her husband is looking after her from the US. She's got 4 siblings in the UK looking after her. And she's, because I know them, we're family friends. She's not one of those very demanding, she's, you know, very whatever I get. If I don't. She has a job. So I said, I think your life is slightly different from most people. You don't have a first-hand experience of some of these things. Like Mikel said, you set people up. You establish them based on an agreement. This is what I want to do. You set them up. They spend the money, they spend the profit, they spend everything. And in a few years, they're back again.
Yeah.
So I was telling him, I said, I understand. He said, oh, you know, Mikel shouldn't say it's cultural. So I said to him, I said, oh, if you're saying it's not cultural, why is it peculiar to us in Africa and maybe South America? I've never heard of Wayne Rooney's dad, you know, asking him. And if you look at the footballers whose parents are kidnapped, if you follow football very well, there's a Liverpool player who plays for Colombia, Luis Diaz.
Yes.
His dad was kidnapped and released recently. They know his father, they know the son is a footballer. They will have collected money. They didn't say there was a ransom paid, but of course it's not wise to announce that because another group will go and kidnap him for ransom. They kidnapped Mikel's father. You remember? This
twice. I think they kidnapped him twice.
Exactly. So, you know, so I was telling my friend, I said, don't you think it's cultural? Because if something is peculiar to a group of people, then it's cultural. He was like, no, it's not cultural. I shouldn't say that. He should talk about his family. I said, but your family is an exception. If you ask most people,
it's cultural. It's just, I will tell you, it's just very, 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 maybe like 10% family that will not do that. Yeah, I can say that because it's very, very common. Yeah. It's very common. So it is a problem. If anybody is telling you no, Mikel is stupid. No, Mikel is not stupid. He
Yeah,
knows.
I think different people have different experiences, and people can only speak from a place of experience. So that, my friend, I can tell you, hands on heart,
That's
he's not
it,
experiencing
right?
it.
I agree with you because of his speaking based on experience. They don't understand it. If you've not passed through that, that's the thing. You have a family that say family of 3. I have friends that they have family of 3, family of 5. Everybody is doing well. Maybe they are UK, US. Everybody, at least, everybody is working. They are not demanding for everyday thing, right? Maybe once in a while, maybe they want to do marriage. Okay, assist my
Contributes.
brother. But apart from that, they don't have this problem. But Mikel, sense of entitlement. Mikel, if you pay attention, okay, what do you want somebody to do for you? So if you are actually a smart person, I'm pretty sure if Mikel is somebody like me that think like me, you give somebody, for example, 10 million naira to do a business, or 5 million naira, as the case may be. You see him excelling, he or she excelling. Then he come back and say, oh, I've achieved this. Oh, but I want to go into this. There is this contract they gave to me, but I need 20 million. I don't know if I can borrow the money, I'll give you back. If you come, the person give you 20 million naira, you run a business, you make profit, you return the 20 million. Tomorrow you come, ask for 100 million. If you have the 100 million, we'll give to you. That's where the problem is. So some of them, you give them money, you're not going to see the money. It's going to end in war. So that's why for me, when I learn my lesson, if they say, hey, borrow me this, how much you have, give to them, move on. If you borrow them money, that will cause war for you. You might never get out.
All right. Let's welcome the Blackstone. See, people like Blackstone, they are the reason why they are billionaires. Look at Blackstone. He has a grand piano in his house.
He's a
He has
billionaire.
a fireplace behind him. Look at the grand piano.
Blackstone.
Look at the fireplace.
Now,
When you're showing off all this, when you're showing off this mansion,
it's the mayor of his city.
exactly, of Germany, somewhere in Germany. They see this
Come and join
mansion,
my
they
club.
think all of us are money.
Come and join my club. I will teach you how to make the dollar become
How to make money.
The Blackstone, welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Thank you, Mr. Shu.
I'm sure you followed the topic. What's your take on it? Where do you think the problem lies the most? Who should get majority of the blame?
It is anyway. It is not a general something. Can you just? I would say it a general something. Depend on individuals, also depend on families.
Right.
Right. Like I had AY when he was saying about his family's mommy and everything. Right. There are some people who are just like they love that attitude of dependency, to depend on somebody. Right. Keep on asking, no matter what you do for them. I've seen people that you give, they ask for money to start a business, right? And at the end of the day, they'll still be asking you for you to give them more money to run that business. For example, you buy a bus, somebody says, okay, I'm a driver, I need a bus from you. You buy the person a bus. He'll still be asking you money from you to repair that bus. At the end of the day, outside of that, they are building they are developing their properties and everything. It's just an attitude of, let me say, of stealing by trick, taking away from you by trick. You understand me? Saying, yeah, my brother, my friend is in abroad, in Western world, and they are making good money, they're living good life, so they can always provide. You understand me? And then, like somebody said, it seems to be there's something. Some take it as an entitlement. I'm entitled to it, right? But there are also some families, some people who said, no, they have to work hard for themselves.
Right.
You understand me? So, and also, actually, this is also a problem of cultural tradition, right? Because we were brought up to depend on people.
That's true.
I was discussing with my family members today, right? I said in abroad, you are trained or you are brought up to be independent.
That's true.
When you get to the age of 18, you realize that you are on your own. You understand me?
That's
Some
true.
people were saying, yeah, because it's the family. It's not the family issue. It is the society that have built it around them. That it is like, it's something that you don't even work towards, but it just happen like that. It is like a subconscious attitude, mindset that when I get to this age, I'm on my own. I have to take responsibility. I have to work for myself and everything. But in Africa, we have that dependency attitude. You understand me? Our fathers, our mother want to train us to depend on them, right? To do whatever they want, and so on and so forth. But so you are not trained for you to take responsibility over your life.
Right.
Until you start working, you are making money, and at the end of the day, even the rich, if you are the only person that's making begin, maybe was made it in that family and that rich, you become now the chicken that lays the egg. You understand me? Everybody now depends on you. Every little thing they will call you. This one they will call you. Even your uncle, extended family, they will not know you have made money. They're not depending on you. You know. So this is the mentality that we have built for ourselves. And so what I see is that it is more of a cultural something. It's more of an attitude that we have been introduced to. We have been brought up with that attitude right from childhood. You understand me? Right? So, and because of that still remains in us, you know, and most people now take it as an advantage that have to depend on something, have to depend on somebody, right? So that dependency, they don't care. You understand me? You have heard stories now that maybe you are doing some development in your country, you are sending money to your brother, right? He's taking 60% of the money, he's developing his own house, and he's sending a picture that this is your own. You understand me? These are all part of the situation. Because he believes that because you are in the Western world, you are in abroad, you have money.
You have it easier than they do.
You have the tree behind your house where you plug the money. He doesn't know that at this time of the year, when it's cold, you wake up by 4 o'clock, go to work, you know, with the cold killing, hammering you up and down. You know, at the end of the day, they are not crying for the money. So it is an attitude that which I don't understand anyway. So, and people who come from families that they don't depend on the 100% and everything, who understand the situation and everything, they should be grateful to God. You understand me? And but that I would also like to say that we should learn to say no.
Right. Okay.
We should always learn to say no. It's not mandatory. They might insult you, they might call you bad and everything. It is even better to be called a bad person than to be said as a good person. You are dying. You are trying to please others, but you're not displeasing yourself. Right?
So,
Let's make one statement. I said, when we are growing up, we used to hear the word please others to please yourself. I said it's no more like that. Please yourself to please others.
You've reversed it.
Yes, I have to reverse it because I am the most important person to myself.
That's true.
So nobody people can sympathize with you, but very few people are willing to help you to solve your problem when you are in that problem, because he has money and he's pretending. Because I've been helpful to people, you know. So at the end of the day, you are the one also going to carry because when you are in trouble, when you are in difficulties, all the people that you think you are supporting, they will not be there for you.
Okay. So yeah. I think what you're saying there is we need to learn how to manage people's expectations of us.
Yeah, definitely.
We have to manage the expectations people have of us. And I think it's something people have to learn. Most especially those who are, just moving into the Western world, UK, US, Canada, wherever, China, wherever they're moving into. I agree that we need to learn to manage the expectation of people back home, because once you set the bar so high, it's difficult to lower the bar. Once you've set it so high, you've given the people, maybe one or two people the impression that, no big deal, I'll send you £100. It's only £100. To them, it's 100,000 or 1,400, 140,000 naira. Now, tomorrow, that same person can call you and you say, oh, I can only send you £20. Then there's an issue. And I'm not saying that to say don't help people, but we need to manage expectations.
Yeah.
We can't solve everybody's problem. You definitely cannot solve everybody's problem.
Mm.
But I also feel, in defense, maybe not in defense, but I also feel it might not be by much, but I feel that the poverty level in Africa contributes a lot to some of these things.
Yeah.
Without making excuses for them, if you have a country of about 200 million and they're saying 130 or whatever live in poverty, it makes it a lot more difficult. Of course, there are people who are abusing the privilege and all of that, but I also feel like the country itself or the continent being on our knees is not helping.
Mm.
But it was good to see someone who is a multi-millionaire complain. Because if people like us complain, they'll say, but if John Obi Mikel is complaining, who am I not to complain?
Yeah.
So,
no, there must be a reason for it anyway. Because when I first heard that story, right, and this on the VOP news, right, somebody called in and said he knows the whole story. He knows the person in the family is also referring to, right?
okay.
He knows the whole story. So let's not talk about it. He knows about the whole story. You understand me? But one thing I also have to say is this: that like you said, poverty and everything also contribute to these things, right? But there's something I also, like I said, sometimes it's also like our own mindset. Right? I'll give you an example. Now, if you have, like me, I have brothers, sisters in Nigeria, right? And I have also others also in abroad, right? I always tell my mommy, right? When they always call me to send me money, I don't ask, I say, am I the only picking you get?
Now you're not chairman. I see you. I tell you, see your grand piano. You be chairman.
No, why do I ask?
But I get you. Yeah.
Yeah. They will always value that money from abroad, that dollar, than the naira in Nigeria. So that's what I also come to find the mentality. You understand me? So you might have a family member or your brother or sister brother who is even richer than you in Nigeria, right? But they will not go to that person. They will always call on you in abroad because they are proud of dollars. I have dollars.
You think so?
Yeah, it's a pride, So that's what it is. You understand me? Two, why I say sometimes it's an issue of our mentality, right? If you go to Nigeria now, you may have a friend or a brother that is even richer than you, has more money than you, right? But once you land in Nigeria, he will pretend that he has nothing. He's going to depend on you that come from abroad.
All the while you're there, so they spend your money.
You spend your money. After you are gone, they say don't mind that Ozu or that man doesn't have anything. You understand me? Everywhere you will go to, they will expect you to pay, to take responsibility. But everything that people have enjoyed together, because you come from abroad, they expect you to pay for it. So this is, I think it's an issue of mentality issue. It's about mentality, right? And some people also take it to the extreme. You understand me? They do it, they overdo it, and they don't care. You understand me?
Yeah. So just to bring a bit of balance to it, because like I said, the last thing I want is for people who live in Nigeria to feel like, oh, this guy just created a show just to talk about us and bash us. I'll tell you of my recent experience. The last time I went to Nigeria, one of my boys that we went to school together, it took me around quite a lot. And every time we went out, we'd go out, we'll drink and eat and socialize and everything. It was me and him most times. Few times we included other boys, but mostly me and him. We would go out and we'd, spend money. And this guy, he would pick me after I finish his work and we'll go out. And he would insist on going half every time on the bill. And I kept telling him, like, no, don't worry, it's okay. He's like, no. So most times I will pay with my card, when they say savings or current.
Current, yeah.
I'll pay with my card, savings or current. Then he will give me cash. In Nigeria, people like cash. He always had cash. He will give me cash. I'll say, no, sure, you have to take this. So, there are people like that. So, so people don't get the impression that everybody's just complaining. There are a few people who don't look to exploit you, because if he pretended like he didn't have money, there's no way I could have known.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't mean like he's a millionaire or billionaire or whatever, but he's just an all right guy doing okay, and he will pay. Would offer to pay half of it every time we went out. So there are still people like that in Nigeria, and that's what we That's what we want to see more of. You might not be able to match me naira for naira,
Definitely.
or naira for pounds. But what the people in the West don't appreciate is they come home and every penny you have, you save until that person leaves.
Leave, right.
You've had, many times when people in the West will say, they only call me when they need something. Some of the things people are looking for is for you to call and say, oh, my friend or my uncle, my brother, I just called to check on you. Hope you're well. Even these days, maybe don't even call because they might be at work, they might be busy. Send the voice notes. Maybe there's WhatsApp. Send voice notes. Guy, how far now? It's been a long time. I just thought I'll check on you. How are you? How's your wife? The children? Just thought to check on you guys. Stay safe. It's winter. I had in the news that there's a snowstorm in New York. Oh, my friend, I know you live in New York. Hope you're well. Your friend might call back and say, oh, me, I don't live in New York now. I've left New York like 10 years ago. But at least they will know that you care. And please, another format that I've seen is some of them that will call you or send you a text today to check on you. After you respond and say, oh, thank you for checking on me. Tomorrow, they'll just drop the actual lamba. That is one thing that people should avoid. That format is old. So go and find something else.
Bro, I have this cousin, right?
So what I thought is this, right? What I said is a mindset issue, right? I think it is somehow it's more of a mindset issue. I believe that there are people that are givers. They love, even if they don't have, like to share with you. Those people are there. No matter where you even to come from abroad or they have to share with you what they have. Like let's carry the responsibility together. You understand me? There are people that always want to collect. Yeah, they do that.
Honestly,
they are the collectors.
Blackstone, that is so true.
So no matter what, they can be very rich, richer than you. But they still have to collect your small one they have.
Some people will sit down on $10 billion. They will be collecting.
Yes.
There are givers.
They'll be crying. Yeah, they'll be crying for more. Want to take that little thing from you, But there are people who are givers. They have that method of giving that the little they have, you have to share it with you, you have to give to you. You understand me? But yeah, I guess everything you have to do with it's everything I say. I guess it's everything's upbringing. We are not training our children to be independent. We are not training our children to be responsible for themselves. You understand me? We are not being brought up in that way. You understand me? For example, I do tell people where I live here, right? A husband and wife, you go to a restaurant, right? You know that if they call for the bill, you don't know what they ask, what the waitress will ask.
Who's paying?
Together or separately. This is husband and wife. They will say, if they will feel like they say separately, each person will pay for his own. Husband and wife, and they go to the same house and go and enjoy themselves.
One person should pay now.
no, one person should pay, but sometimes they have to do it like that.
I know.
Yeah,
the independence of each person.
Together we pay. You understand me?
Oga KJ, welcome to the show. They don't call you today. They don't bill you today for Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah, sorry, before you speak, that's another thing that I find funny. I know someone that on my birthday, it would text me to wish me happy birthday and tell me, send money, make with Jolly, send money, that's in your name. On his own birthday, he will remind me to send money. So I'm thinking, so on your birthday, you collect. On my birthday, you collect. Oga KJ, good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. I sent you a message. You don't reply my messages. I don't send you a message. I don't send a message. Say they hack my WhatsApp. Anybody get my number, they hack my WhatsApp. If they say send me money.
From Germany. That's why it's not returning your message.
Sure. It's because of you that I saw that I came in. Because I know you always have something very interesting and mature to discuss. So I'm coming in based on that. Thank you all for my brother and friend Blackstone. I've been hearing your comment.
Thank you.
And I enjoy the discussion so far. I say let me follow my brother's show to come in and listen more. I usually have a little bit of misgiving about the Thanksgiving because some of my brothers of the same skin tell you that who are Aborigines. Say tell you that they are celebrating after massacring all of them. Whether that is true or not, I don't know. I've not really done any research on that, so I can't discuss intelligently on that.
Actually,
And then
it wasn't because of that anyway. That was not the issue, right?
Yeah, but that's what most of them say. They say
but that was not the issue because
the first one was after they finished them. They now went ahead to celebrate for doing that. And so if that be the case, then I think it's not worth celebrating. But like I said, I can't discuss intelligently on that, so I cannot really say.
Anyway, this time not about it's not like that anyway. So it's quite.
I've heard that too.
So the history I had was quite different. That they were having a famine and that they were lack of food. There was no food for them to eat, right? And they were praying, believing God that from nowhere they saw a ship on the high sea coming, and that ship was carrying sort of food and everything. When the ship landed, that's when they declared that day as a day of Thanksgiving. So that's what I heard. That's what I heard anyway. I don't know if it's true, but I think different stories. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but KG, on this matter, have you been sending a lot of Western Union home?
KJ has money now. Why are you asking that question?
KJ not billionaire. Now these people like KJ, they don't worry about this kind of stuff. Now they worry.
Look at this guy. One day I will tell you people my story, how I left. I don't think anybody wants to leave and come to a foreign land after he's over 50. So there's they say frog no they run for no they run for afternoon for nothing. Something must be portrayed.
KJ, do you know initially I thought you were all this while you were in Abuja? It was like a month or 2 months ago. I knew you were not there.
Not only
really?
I used to think you were in Abuja. Then I said, you don't see internet. I said, yeah, it's true. Internet never.
You know, see as a wall white. Anytime you see this white wall, pristine white wall, you know, it's not for it. I beg.
The thing is, we would have had money, but any money you have in Nigeria, assuming you had 1 million naira in Nigeria, by now you should know what it is now in the naira. So people have become poor overnight.
Yeah.
And so it's not even north, south to east or west, it's everybody. And so except you are plugged in, like I was discussing with a pastor friend of mine yesterday, and I said to him, if I was Nigeria up to this moment, I would have joined APCO. He laughed. I said I would have. That's the only way to sustain and maintain your whatever you have.
Wow, yeah.
I'm telling you, I will have joined APC, and all the people I'll be talking, I'll be following them and shouting, oh yeah, that is it. Because how then are you able to survive? And the guy was telling me how they have survived, they're surviving. It is now he has a son in England, and the son he opted now when he calculates how much he's paying. The guy is in a film school, and he's calculating almost 22 million. That's what he's paying as school fees. So you can imagine, how he has to hustle every kobo that he has, to make sure that the guy completes the school and finishes the school, just overnight, and the guy now goes and tells that he should have a Guinness Book of be in the Guinness Book of Record. Of course, he should be in the Guinness Book of Record for every wrong reason.
We should be there, no problem. We ask that
president alone,
as the worst president Africa has ever had.
Yeah, so that's where we are. You see, so to coming back to what you are saying, so it doesn't matter who you really are, how much you've saved up. You just become poor overnight.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. That's the funny part of the whole deal, man. Honestly,
Okay.
Yes,
sir. But at the end of the day, with the dollar exchange rate, somehow I say that also it is an advantage to people in diaspora, right? Because why do I say so, right? If you are saving money in Naira in your account, maybe when the value of Naira rises, then you gain from it, right? But the people in Nigeria are not suffering who are at a higher disadvantage. You understand
Oh,
me?
you mean
So
for people who can just deposit the money in a Naira
in
account
Naira,
and hoping that
yes,
he appreciates?
appreciate that because I know um currency sometimes according to the economy improve tomorrow.
No,
Man,
sorry. No, sorry. I need to understand what you say. Are you saying I should put Naira in my account? If Naira appreciate, I will get more dollars. Is that what you say?
no dollars.
No, you're not bringing it here.
I'm not
I
bringing
think
it
you
here.
leave it there
In
maybe
Nigeria, keep it in
with
Nigeria
your
there. You can then
So you
have
send money to
invest.
Nigeria.
Yeah, if you are going to buy a property later and everything, so your Naira has appreciated, right? You understand me? So then you are at
It
an
doesn't make
advantage.
sense though. Okay, if I keep my dollars, maybe
No,
by
you
next
don't
year.
you don't keep it in dollars. You keep it in Naira, not in dollars.
How do you keep it in Naira? You're gonna lose out. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Okay, let me explain my whole principle to you.
Okay.
I keep my money in dollars.
Mm-hmm.
By next year, Naira is 1,500 Naira. I'd
Mm-hmm.
make more money, right?
So you're saying
Yeah.
the opposite. Blackstone is
No, I'm
saying
saying a
you
different
send
thing.
money to Nigeria today at 1,100 to 1. You put
Yeah.
it there. Let's say in 6 months, in 1 year, in 2 years, Naira appreciates in value.
So that is my point. Just stop there. That is where I'm going. So you have hope that Naira will appreciate by next year.
Definitely.
Oh, I'm sorry for you. You don't know where we're going.
No.
Please don't make that mistake, bro. Make that mistake. Don't do it. Naira is not going. It's not
will appreciate. No, it was always frustrated to appreciate. That's what it took.
KJ, do you also share that view?
No.
Appreciate?
No, I totally refuse.
Story, man. Naira is
No. You see,
it's not going to appreciate.
Let me tell you something. If the Naira is going to appreciate, you will have had some form of export going on. Now, we're not exporting anything. And the little Naira we have, they are using it to carry Olosho. I mean, there's little dollars we have, they use it to carry Olosho. How is it going to appreciate? How is it going to appreciate?
No.
When we're spending more money, more of the dollars. Yes.
Like you said, KJ, there must be more production, more production or more export of Nigerian products, right? Which I think that, you know, Sammy, in the near future, 1 year, 2 years later, Sammy, because I don't believe that that's from my own side anyway. That's from my own side, Sammy, because definitely, I think that there are going to be some economic changes. Policy change, you understand me? Because they are actually
just go through these baby steps of pain. Baby step of pain.
So baby step of pain. So after the delivery of the baby, what happens? The woman jump out of bed again and start enjoying.
Let me say something.
This baby is not going to be delivered.
Let me say something. We have actually become a joke. Why I'm saying that is a month ago, you know, Naira, like dollar to Naira went up to 1,300.
Mm-hmm.
They got, I think, $10 billion or whatever. They pop into the economy. Naira drop. I saw people were celebrating. Oh, Naira is going down. Said, what are you talking about? You think it's gonna go there? It's going back up. What is going on is you can't live a fake system. We have a fake system. It's not sustainable. You don't have money to be popping into the economy like that. So Naira we keep dropping. It's not gonna appreciate. Forget about it.
Anyway, from our point of view, I believe that once there are some things that come into the economy, right? For example, when some industries comes in, right, which might be able to boost the Naira, bringing foreign currency to the economy. You understand me? Naira might come. But what they are doing now, that they're borrowing money, pump it into the economy, that's not the right. That's not for me. I also agree with that 100%. That is foolishness.
Okay, Blackstone.
Yeah.
Will you, if you are an investor, come to invest in Nigeria in this hour? Will you come?
No, I don't. I want no.
Look at now. Let's take one by one. Look at the policies on your investment. Those who have invested, have they been able to retrieve their money back? Let's take example of the airlines. What's the problem with the airlines? They're not getting their money. Their money have been trapped in Nigeria for almost 3 years going now. They are not able to recoup their money back. Now, other investors are leaving. Yesterday, or no, 2 days ago, I was watching a documentary a friend sent to me, done in Port Harcourt, River State, of the companies that have closed down and have left. Now, if you're an investor, you're seeing all those things, are you going to go and take your money and dump into a place where the laws are not even straight, where the Supreme Court, the Appeal Court will give 3 different judgments, where laws are not, there's no rule of law. So even when you run into an infringement with somebody, you go to court, you can't get justice. Will you take your money? Seeing other places where you can invest and go to sleep, you take it and go to Nigeria.
Okay, KJ, no, the way I'm saying it, when you talk about the law, most of those laws are political judgments. You understand me? It's quite different from maybe commercial laws or commercial judgment and things like that. Because Tinubu now owns the political all cases related to election. Tinubu is a control. Their APC is a control. You understand me, right? I call that just a political issue of the judgment and things like that. You understand me? But I know as an investor, no investor is willing to put their money into Nigerian economy now. You understand me? And their program are going to come out later that's going to improve the image of Nigeria, maybe giving Nigeria at least some uplifting that investor can be encouraged, right? I don't know, but it depends on the government. But I think what I have in mind that if the government can put some laws, some policies in place, right, which they know themselves, they know these policies they can put and how to do it.
A creative mind is a fertile land for growth.
Did you hear that?
But does it have it? It doesn't have it. It doesn't have the creative mind.
You're asking me.
It doesn't have the it doesn't have the creative mind.
I'm not Ajuri Ngelala.
Let me just say something. If I want to say something, Tinubu for you running around the world, I guess just like it's time for you to have to enjoy free flight, travel around the world, paying for it. Because I don't find any reason for that. If it's very serious, you have to sit down in Nigeria and spend time and pattern out the policies that are going to implement. You understand me? You understand? Because Nigeria is a dicey place. So for you to travel here saying I'm going to war investors, I tell somebody that you don't war investors. Investors know more than we know. They know more than what I'm going to tell them. You understand me? They know the economic problem in Nigeria, the policy, the laws, and everything. They know it more than what you are going to tell them. You understand me? So if you are going to put policies on the ground, sit down, right? People should, as you said, let us strategize with the economic teams, so with people, but sometimes not even the government. You understand me? Let them come out with laws, regulations, economic principles. Let them try and do it rigorously. You understand me? And then if in a short time, the economy will begin to change.
The first set of investors Nigeria need are Nigerians in diaspora.
Yes, of course,
if
definitely.
you can win their confidence, if they know their security, if they know, that their money is safe, they're familiar with the terrain. There are some things that are not alien to us, some small skirmishes that we can, sort of like, oh, no big deal. We know now in Niger that maybe a foreigner might struggle with. I'm not sure. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, my screen is frozen, so I'll keep talking. I'm going to refresh it. But there are things that we are familiar with as Nigerians that grew up in Nigeria that we know that these things, no big deal. I can overlook these little things. So the first set of investors that we need, that our Nigeria needs, and Nigerians who are overseas, people who sent 22 billion naira home last year just to support school fees, to support audience.
Dollars now. This is dollars now, not
dollars. $22 billion. Yeah.
Dollars, yeah.
People who could send that home just to support their families. Imagine how much they can send home or take home, not even send, take home to invest if they know that their money is safe and they are safe as well. So all this running around looking for people is not the way to go about it.
It's not the way to go
about it. You need
to
fix the country somewhat, security, a bit of infrastructure here and there, and people will take money home. Now, if that happens, foreign investors will naturally follow.
No, sure. The way look at, for example, now there are some policies that actually kill the economy, and they know it, and that they know it, and they are putting it in place. For example, I don't find any reason why they have to increase the custom duties. I don't find any reason for that, because they have increased the custom from January, and they're going to have a new custom duty regime, which now is going to be very more expensive. You understand me? So what I will say that let them try to bring down every cost. You understand me? It doesn't matter how much I'm going to get, but once you are bringing down the cost of things, you understand me? Importation, clearing duties, and everything, make things easy, right? Things will start coming in, and then when these are coming in, then people are not trying to buy. You understand me? Because the cost of living will now will be lower. You understand me? It will be lower. You understand me? Then people can have more money on their pocket, because they are spending less. The cost of goods are now lower. You understand me? So the cost of living also be lower. It cannot be begin to raise cost of things and expect that it will help the economy. No, it will only help the government collect money, but it doesn't help the economy. You understand me?
So those of you that are thinking you put money in Naira account, thinking Naira is going to appreciate, bank will just steal your money for free. Be careful.
Surely, no. Let me tell you something. There are banks that are very responsible in Nigeria. I don't bank with Nigerian bank. I don't bank with the Nigerian traditional bank or Nigerian established bank. I bank with a foreign bank who is in Nigerian. You understand me? So whatever I want, I can easily get it from them, because they have other subsidiaries. They're not their main place of registration, or their main place of business is not in Nigeria. They're more international than Nigeria. You understand me? So if you have account with those banks, you are secured.
Oh, righteous man. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Even the what Show was saying before he left, right? So I think the if you the president needs to be deliberate about what you want to achieve. See, if you want Naira, issue of Naira appreciative, forget about it. The word we should be using, we should do something to actually make the Naira stable, at least stable. Let it be at 1,000 Naira. But to do that, you need to focus in a lot of exportation, focus in our agriculture, focus in manufacturing. That is where the issue is. So now what are you doing? So just like Show rightly said, going to abroad looking for investors, nobody is coming. Nobody is coming.
So it's a waste of time and money.
That's what I said. I said enjoy traveling around the whole world. It's a free flight. Let people have some holidays and rest in the good hotels.
When you fix the basic things, fix the infrastructure, security, just basic things. Nigeria in diaspora will pop in money into Nigeria and invest. Trust me. Nigeria will pop in. Then the foreigners, the foreign company you're looking for, when they see the system is stable, security, everything is going good, they will be encouraged to come because they have the market. Investors will not just come and dump money into a system where they know they will not make profit. It's not going to happen. Electricity is not there. A lot of things, it's not going to happen. You got to focus on this stuff. Maybe after 2 years, when you see significant improvement, you start looking for foreign investors.
All right.
Right. That's true. Because actually, also, sorry, okay.
Yeah, go on. Say what you want to say. That's fine.
Yeah, also, like, I think one of the major things they should do, first of all, and tackle is the issue of electricity, power. And I don't see any reason why Nigeria should not have power.
It's deliberate. They want to keep us in darkness.
Let me play this. It's deliberate. Yes,
deliberate. I'm going to replay this. Righteous Man and Tone have joined us.
You get threatened by your own blood, your own.
Do you know what we're going to do? Me and you are going to do a documentary about this.
When you come from Africa, and this is something I don't think we speak a lot about. When you make money, It's not your money. You have all these relatives, cousins, whatever you call it.
Who you didn't know.
Yeah. You know, and your sisters, they go off and they get married to some guy, you know, who just wants to get married to John Obi Mikel's family, because then my life is sorted. And then you start looking after this guy. Before you know it, you're looking at them, where is it?
You're on less than them.
Exactly. They keep having so many kids, and you're looking at, okay, you're having this much kids, who's going to look after them? It's you.
The
It's
culture that they expected you to do that.
For them, you owe them that. So sometimes you have to be strong and say, you know what, guys, enough is enough. I don't care. They give you this thing whereby, if you don't do it, we're going to go to the press.
Ooh.
Wow.
Man,
What? Did you have them conversations?
Yeah. What? After all I've done for you guys. But this happens a lot.
To all the players, a lot of the players in your
In
team.
Africa, I'm telling you, not everybody comes out and speak about it, because we're thinking, how are we going to talk about this?
You see, Ferdinand doesn't even know it's not only the players.
Exactly. He thinks it's limited to players. But Righteous Man, welcome to the show. I know it's past midnight in Lagos, but you know, you lived in Germany and now you live in Nigeria. So based on this, you know, topic we're trying to have a discussion about, of course, we can flesh it out and discuss Nigeria in the 2 hours that will be here. But how do you see things, the level of expectations of Nigerians on people abroad? You know, when people just think it's just easy, just call them. You know, when they never call to check on you, when they don't care if you survive or you die, as long as you can just send money. This unlimited ATM, you've lived both lives. What's your take on it?
Well, it's quite unfortunate that Nigerians in diaspora are to face this unfortunate pressure. It's an unfortunate pressure because somebody who lives and works in a very cold environment, you know, being lonely, because in Germany, life there is very lonely. I don't know about US or Canada. And every now and then when you come back, you just get a call. You need to send money home. And most times that money you send, they don't appreciate it. That's the most unfortunate thing. And I was discussing with a friend today. I was in a friend's office and we're just sharing, and I was telling him that what has kept Nigeria to still remain the way it is because of the money that is coming from the diaspora. I think last few years, is it 2021 or 2022? It was $50.8 billion. The one that is registered, the one that is transferred from the bank that entered Nigeria from the diaspora, that is above the earning we got from the oil, $50.8 billion. Now, if that money did not enter into Nigerian economy, guys will be on the streets. The level of poverty will be much more than what we are seeing today. So, however, it is not the making of Nigerians that are here to disturb those of their relatives or friends who are in diaspora. I don't think that we that are here will be happy to be disturbing those who are outside the country. It's just because they becomes the last lap for survivor, and there is no alternative to that. If there is alternative, I don't think Nigerians are very hardworking. I mean, Nigerians that are here, as much as Nigerians that are in diaspora, they are very hardworking. So they would have been able to manage. But I'm telling you, there is the expectation of improvement in our economy is completely dead. As I'm talking to you right now, I'm running Jane. There is no light anywhere. Everywhere is in gross darkness. Armed robbery cases have increased. The office I was today, my friends were telling me that over the night, they had 2 consecutive armed robbery attacks. Imagine in a street, in a day, in a night. A group came around 10 p.m. and robbed up to 11:30. Then another group came around 2 o'clock and robbed up to 4 a.m.
Wow.
That must have been a street of rich people.
What was left to take? That second shift, don't go get anything.
I mean, I said that was a street of rich people. That must be a street of rich people.
No, you know that streets in Lagos are very long, depending the area. So if they're able to rob about 5 houses or 10 houses, then another group will rob the remaining houses. It could be one group, but they divided themselves. The first batch comes and rob. Then when they return this, and the worst part of it is that no policeman is going to stake his life for at all. They will only come after the robbing incident must have ended. You will see them blowing siren. You know, remember last few weeks I was saying it. I said the level of poverty we're encountering here now, very soon, the level of criminality will increase. And this is Christmas now. A bag of rice is 65,000 as of today. 65,000. That's what they're selling a bag of rice today in Lagos.
How many kg?
50 kg.
It's even cheap now. I buy 5 kg for 16 euro yen.
Okay, let's not cause wahala.
Okay.
So
you see that, yeah.
Sorry.
To get that 65,000 naira, you see, to get that 65,000 naira, the minimum wage here is 30,000. In fact, nurses, auxiliary nurses in Lagos collect 25,000 because there is no work.
I think he knows that it's just pulling your leg. So based on what you said, that the people in Nigeria, you know, it's not like they want to stress people for money. And I've made that point before you joined. I've tried to balance the conversation. But do you agree that the people overseas have every right to be annoyed if the people, because everybody's not the same, but if the people that are contacting them are the people that never call them just to say, hello, how are you? Never text them to check on them, their families, their children. Some people would even go to Nigeria. They'll see their friends and families when they're leaving to even say, oh, my brother, my uncle, my whatever, has things bill, money no day, but take these 2 bottles of granuts, like 1,000 naira. That's all I can afford. But they often tell you, oh, what can you give a rich man? What can you give somebody who has everything? So the person overseas feels like I'm just like an ATM. A bit of information, knowledge, nothing that people don't know, but ATM stands for automated teller machine, right? I call it anytime money. Anytime money. That's what people have turned into. A lot of people in Nigeria have turned, or Africa, they've turned into anytime money. Just go there, press it, money will come out. So do you think the people back home have every right to feel aggrieved, to think, you don't check on me, you don't care, my welfare, my children. If I come home, sew one top, dashiki, for my son. If he fits or not, it's not the issue. Just tell your tailor, make something for a 10-year-old, for a 7-year-old, and give the person, give to your son for me. They feel like, it's an exchange. You give me the little you have, I give you the plenty that I have. But when it's just one way, that's when people get fed up and they say, you know what, I'm not interested. What do you have to say to that?
Before he say, can I just make a comment also?
30 seconds.
One minute. So
okay, 1 minute.
What Ratchesman said, Ratchesman, don't restrict this discussion to this government. It's not about this government. This is an ongoing thing. What Show just said now is very true. I have somebody close to me. He's even older than me. Like, if he messaged me 20 times, it's about money. Then I have to stop that discussion. Like, if I wake up, see his message, hey, 5 minutes audio, say something. He doesn't care how you feel. One thing people don't know, right? Even if your brother is Dangote, don't go there and be looking for money, what to get every time. Buy orange, 10 naira. Go and give to Dangote. I swear he will appreciate it. What it means, you even thinking of the person, even if you are the poorest of the poor, stop carrying your mentality that you think, oh, give me.
That is what show was just emphasizing on. Like we in abroad, you come home, people just expect you to be pulling money here and there. Nobody, the majority of them, they don't care. And the other thing is, they don't care to even say, take granite. Oh, you don't take when you eat granite, take granite. Look for something you know is not common, even if it's peer. Oh, I bought this for you. Even if he's a billionaire, he will appreciate it. One other thing that people also complain abroad is they ask you for money, you send them money, they will not even acknowledge.
They
This
will
is a big problem.
flash you for you to call them so that they can thank
Some
you.
will not even acknowledge. I have experienced this myself, not once, not twice. They will not even acknowledge it. Oh, you will now be calling them. Oh, did you see the money? Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Righteous Man for him to speak. Then we go to Tone quickly. And Steph,
Okay.
I see you.
Yeah. Let me still repeat my words. It's very quite unfortunate for anyone to fall into that category of being an ungrateful person. Sometimes it depends on how individuals are wired, and the kind of family, the upbringing you receive. Sometimes, some years back, my friends from Tennessee, US, visited me. There are 4 white men. They visited me, and I hosted them in Lagos here for 4 days before we moved down to Ogun State, and then to the east also. When they were going, I told them that I'm going to buy something that is made in Nigeria, so that when they go back home, they will be able to present to their wives or children that this is what their friend gave them, from Nigeria. I took them to ShopRite, and I bought bottle of granuts, and the other ones, I bought coconut for them and bitter cola. And they were so grateful, I think a few weeks ago, I chatted one of them, and he told me that bottle of granuts I gave him, that is still standing on his table in the kitchen. So that he said, he has not eaten it. He said he used it to remember Africa, to remember Lagos, Nigeria, and to remember me. Because that was the first time I came in contact with him. My friend was coming, and he said, okay, I have a good friend in Nigeria that, summertime, let's visit him. So they were 4 in number. And so this action or this behavior, I would say it is an ungrateful behavior for anybody to demand money continuously from an individual, even if it's your father that gave birth to you and you're of age. To demand money from him continuously means that you are not thinking. And sometimes also, I blame those of us that are in abroad. My reasons are as follows. 1, instead of you giving somebody money continuously, ask that person, what do you want to do? What can you do? Like when I came back, one of my cousins, I called him, I said, you can't be coming to my house to demand for money. I bought a danfo for him, and I married for him. I said, start your life with this danfo and with your wife. And don't ever come to my house to ask for money. That was when Nigeria was good. How much was danfo? About 150,000 naira, then. So I settled him, and I told him, don't ever ask me for money. And as I'm talking to you, he has never called me to ask me for money. So most times we think giving them $50 or $100 will solve the problem. No, ask them. If it is the one that can learn trade, if it is learning trade, how to make clothes, make hair, you can pay for that person. Okay, go and spend 6 months and learn, and then get established. That is the best way to do it. One of my cousins too that lives in Imo State, After he finished learning mechanic, he was disturbing me every day. Uncle sent 10 naira, uncle sent 20 naira. I say, come, go and look for a place. I will pay for it. Go and start your own since you have finished learning. And I settled him. I spent less than 100,000 to settle him. And since years now, he has never called me to ask me for 1 naira. So helping those back home here, I will encourage us that are over there to see a way to set them up instead of sending $50, $100 to them, because it will finish. Because money you did not hustle to make, you did not labor to make, you will not have value for it. But it's
Okay.
unfortunate that somebody will give you money and you will not acknowledge that you have received that money. Honestly, if I'm the person, I will never answer you again. So
All right.
that's my submission.
Thank you, Righteous Man.
Oh, Righteous Man,
Relaxing Music Anchor agrees with you. He said you're on
so
point. Somebody in the comment
don't give
section said
me,
you're on point. I know
don't give,
people that will have
don't give me
rebuttal.
fish. Don't give me
The
fish.
blacks will wait before I know there are rebuttals of people that have been set up and messed up, but let's not monopolize it. Let's go to tone. Let's hear, but I like the way the conversation is going, because what I want us to get out of this, if we will get anything, is education for both sides. For those of us in the diaspora, for those who have, sort of managed this well, how have you managed it? Is it a case of blanket ban? I don't pick anybody's call. Go answer your papa name, or I set people up, or I manage expectations, or I don't, show my life on social media, because sometimes you put everything before you book a holiday to Cancun in Mexico. You don't put them for Instagram. As you're boarding the flight, you're putting it on Instagram. As you land in Mexico, it's on Instagram. And I'm not saying don't live your life, but with such show off comes expectation. So if there's a way people are managing it better than some of us, let's share that sort of knowledge. How do you manage it? And the people in Nigeria as well. It's a shame that Blackstone is the only one. Righteous Man is the only one joining us. I know it's quite late and it's a weekday. The people in Nigeria, if I would love to hear the other side of the story. Their side of the story, so that we can all learn from it. But Tom, good to have you.
Hi.
Have they been disturbing you?
Yeah, hi. It's not even today. It has started. Anyway, I knew at some point he was going to get to this, because I've always known that the problem with Nigerians is the mindset. We've got a very bad mindset, and the mindset I remember years ago, when I went to Nigeria, so I just went, got something that I thought that was going to be a blessing to them. Got a lot of t-shirts, and those t-shirts were from Primark, which was, in my own opinion, which was good. But I mean, sure, you know what I'm talking about. You're in the UK here with me, and those t-shirts weren't like the cheap ones or anything, but it was decent t-shirt that you could just wear around the house and all that.
Knockabout, yeah.
Yeah, knockabout, exactly. Yeah, that's the word, knockabout. And I bought some few things, and there were two individuals that I gave it to majorly. The man looked at it. He said, he's an older relative. Then he called me by my Igbo name. He said, this is from Primark. I said, Uncle, do you know Primark? He said, of course, I know Primark. This my uncle has never even flown a plane from. You know, I've flown a plane from where he's based, even to Abuja or Lagos and all that. But yet he knows Primark. He knows that it's not a high level one. He was telling me about Nest and Gap. I said, Uncle, I said, this is just what you wear, or your kids and all that, because it's got grown up children and that for knockabout. He was like, I'll just take it bare like that, and then give them some money. That was the point where I knew that these people, we've got problems. We've got problems. The attitude is bad, and that is what I've led. Because we keep on slagging off APC and all that. Who makes up the APC? These are human beings. These are people with the wrong mindset, and that is what just messed up Nigeria. Started with Buhari. Okay, you're telling us now that from Buhari's regime that Emefiele did this, he did that, this this person has returned 500 million again, which I don't know whether you guys have read that. You know, this government is just a tissue of lies and lies upon lies and all that. That lie has been just been punctured. Nobody has returned any 500 million. It wasn't true. Every narrative they feed us, they want us to believe. They want to spoon feed us. It's all lies. Tinubu, some 2 days or 3 days ago, was I don't know the people in Germany was addressing them, and still the man is still that old man, that stupid old man does not have shame. If he was my father, I would be so embarrassed. He's still lying from his teeth about Delora and Mobile. You know, instead of him to just shut his bloody mouth and come and do Babiala, because it's just Babiala thing that they are doing. That is the only government I see them running. How can a man? You're not talking about industry. You're not talking about setting up industry. Our industries that are dead. The cottage even industry alone. Not too long ago, somebody that I used to know. Actually, I would have married that girl.
Oh,
She was
okay.
telling me that she wanted. She was telling me about some business that will cost her that she's going to set up with 20 million. I said, this 20 million business and all that. You don't number one, you don't have experience in that business. You want me to just get
It's,
20
it's
million for you?
£20,000 only.
Yes, exactly. I said, do you know how much it is? I said, do you know the quarter of this money? If the police, if I'm driving and police should find 5,000 in my possession, or more, I need to explain how I came about £5,000 cash on me, or some £20,000 or £30,000 just lands in my account and all that. If it's not something that it's they are used to and all that, I'll get a phone call or I'll be
Mhm.
invited to the bank to
Transaction
explain.
monitoring. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, listen, you people are not real. I told her, I said, "Look, forget that business. You have no, it's a high risk business. You have no experience. Why not? Well, how about food? How about food? Everybody, somebody's mic is okay. How
Carry on.
about food and um and trying to get food and all
Righteous
that?
man is watching the world.
Export is making a lot of money. I know a girl here that read law and all that. When she got back home, she told the dad that she wasn't going to practice law. Forget that thing and all that. Today, she lives in Ibadan. Today, she exports processed food and all that to America, the UK, and everywhere. She's making a lot of money. She's employed loads of her cousins and she's doing very, very, very well. So back to what we're saying is the mindset. The mindset is just wrong. Only 3 days ago, because that's the latest thing, and that's what I want to warn everybody here, those of us in diaspora. Um, what WhatsApp is the latest thing. They'll hijack the WhatsApp and pretend they are the people that you know. They
Have you
set up this
experienced it?
video.
Have you experienced it?
I, oh,
Yes.
I'm telling you about my experience 3 days ago.
They just asked
The,
my own 2 days ago.
They were asking me this girl. She was asking me for 175K that she was very sick and all that kind of thing. This is a girl that I spoke to about last month. Yeah. So I said to her, okay, where how about your phone? She said her phone is spoiled. That is her sister's that she puts her SIM. I said, okay, when you put your SIM, your sister's phone,
Phone.
I would like to speak to you just to confirm it's you. That was it. That was how I got
Yeah.
them. They all
So
ran up.
that
So
that
the thing
happens where they just hijack people's WhatsApp and they start
yeah,
sending
it's
messages. You need to
it's it's
verify.
yeah, it's so pathetic because I'm one person when it comes to health and education, I can't ignore. I don't know how to ignore. I will look for that money and give it to you. You don't have to be family. Once I know you, that's just me.
Maybe I
So
should
with all
collect
this,
your number so you can be sending money to my mom. She goes to hospital for checkup regularly, and UCH is expensive.
hmm,
I'm joking. I'm just joking.
hmm. If incidentally, one of my friend, I call him. We all call both each other. We're brothers from from different mothers. He lives in the States. He's in Nigeria now. He went for 1 month. Now he's found himself in fourth month. If he's not a businessman, how can he manage? The mom has gone from one surgery to the other, and all that. The surgery she went for first, it turned out that it was wrong. So he has to just stay on ground to manage everything. They moved her to another hospital, and that's costing him money. He can't even stay in his house because of security, you know. So that is where we have found ourselves. So my thing is, I'm tired of this government. You know, AY said righteous man shouldn't blame just the APC. Yes, you're quite correct, my brother.
No, that's not what I
He said
said.
you shouldn't just blame Tinubu. He started
Oh
before.
yes,
You can blame
Tinubu, yeah,
APC,
yeah.
but from Buhari
No,
and
no, 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 it's just not Buhari. It's something that has been going on. But unfortunately, Tinubu had the opportunity to grab the bull by the horns when he came in. Okay, you've got the power now. You did everything. You eventually got the power. Fair enough. Nobody came out. Nobody routed and all that. But at least do the right thing. It's not at least if people see that you're putting in some effort, you know, people will not be criticizing like this, and people will even be saying, okay, how do we? Are you asking us to bring our hard-earned money back home to that economy? You know, it's
it
not
is well.
happening.
All right.
Listen, my account in Nigeria, I still run it, but I only put money there when I want to send money to anybody. I keep it. It always has less than 5,000 naira, Papa, all
Yeah.
the
All right.
time. I only feed money there when I want to send it to somebody, and that's how I send money. So,
Yeah.
man, these guys had better do something,
All
because
right.
the day is going to kick off in that country is not going to be easy.
Thank you,
That's
Tone. Thank you for that. We'll go to Steph quickly, who we've kept waiting for a while. But because Paul is here, I'm going to add a dimension of sending money to Nigeria. You know, there's another tax that you pay when your parents ask you to send money because they want to go and give it to pastor to pray for you, or afar to pray for you. It could be because so that your life can be better, or so that you can get married. You know, there's that tax as well, especially our mothers, who the religious leaders, some religious leaders know how to pull the strings of their heart, and they will say, oh, pastor wants to pray for you, anointing oil, olive oil, goya, to open doors. So we'll bring that angle to it as well, because that also exists, and a lot of people are suffering under that.
Sure. So don't worry about that. Paul doesn't send money to Nigeria.
Yeah, I know, but I know me and Paul have spoken now, so that's why I brought that angle to it. And quickly, Tone, you spoke about somebody who is a lawyer in Ibadan, who now sells processed food across the world. I think I might know that person, not personally, but I think I bought from them. But no, that's fine. It's a small world. If it's Ibadan, I think
she's doing very, very well. She
I
went
know.
to Luton. Is it the
Yeah,
same
I know.
person?
Yeah,
Is it her?
possibly. Yeah. All right,
I don't want to mention her
Steph.
name, yeah, so we
Steph,
know.
let's bring it to you. Good to have you. Very calm.
She's a very
Very
nice Aburo, yeah.
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 Steph is very calm, brings a lot of wisdom when he speaks. I like Steph. He's never agitated. He says what
Like
he has to
me.
say calmly, and he goes away. All of you should do it.
I like his white beard too.
Steph, so you've listened to the conversation. I believe you've listened to most
Sure.
of it. We're talking about sorry, righteous man, you were saying something.
Yeah, what you said now is actually what I was thinking of bringing to the show today.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah, we'll
the
discuss it.
church in
No, don't worry.
Nigeria.
We'll come to it.
Okay.
Well,
We'll
it's a
come to
good thing
that, yeah.
KJ has left, because KJ is a part-time pastor. He will get annoyed. Steph, let me bring it to you quickly. So we're talking about this tax that we all have to pay. If footballer is complaining, who is a multimillionaire, it's easy for people to say, you get money now, Mikel, we then they pay you 150K every week. Don't complain. But if a footballer is complaining, the rest of us have no choice but to complain. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I think good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, for those that are in America, happy Thanksgiving, by the way. I think it's actually an issue, but we must understand that it's not a fault of their own. I believe that most times a rational human being, if you have the option of being the one that gives or the one that asks, you prefer to be the one that gives, you know. But like somebody said, I think it's always good for those that are giving to learn how to manage expectations. You know, if you really have more to give, then you should also give rationally. Give in such a way that will promote productivity and not promote consumption. If I have like $1,000 to give to relatives in a year, maybe it's possible to give to 20 people, let's say $50, right? But unfortunately, I don't do it. So many people may be bothering me, so many people may be hungry. I know they're actually hungry. I know they're passing through stuff, but I don't. I may choose just one person that I can walk through to do something useful. You understand? And most people that are related to me know that I'm emotional, I feel for people, but I'm not usually carried away by it. If there's any problem that I can't really solve, I don't like to dabble into it. I don't really think it's a good idea to give people money just for them to feed. But if I have, like I said before, $1 million, $1,000, what I've done over the years, okay, the recent one was, that's the reason why I don't usually do frequently, because I want it to be something that will amount to something. The last I did last year was help one of my relations to start a tailoring shop or stuff like that. So it's been like 2-3 years. I've been bothering about money, things are hard, things are this. So I know that things are hard, but I'm not going to give you money for feeding. Let's walk through it. What we're going to do, so that it took a time before we agreed on this. She knows how to sew clothes. At the she said she want to open a shop to sell stuff. But the thing she wanted to sell is something that I know that it's not something that she can account for after like a year. I said, okay, let's take time and walk through. How do you refine your tailoring skills so that if we buy the machineries that you need for it, the modern sewing machines and stuff like that, I know that this is an asset that maybe in the next 2-3 years can still be there, and we walk through it. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that you may feel like most times that out of emotions, let me give 100, 200, 150, 50 over so many people and make them happy. You understand? But if you reason it out well, they're not gonna die if you don't really do. But if you pick one person out of that convinces you that he has a plan, you understand? And you walk through the person. I don't say you should give the person money. No. You have to walk through the plan with the person. What do we need? You'll be surprised that the machine that I bought, I didn't give the person the money. I sent the money to a different person to help me buy the machine and deliver to the person. Because I don't want stories. You understand? And at the end of the day, the person is grateful for it. I have forgotten those 3-4 years I've been disturbing about feeding money, which I deliberately refuse to give. You understand? So for somebody like Mikel, I think that he has the money to, put in a structure to really help those people that are bothering him, than rather just, allowing them to turn him to an ATM machine.
I think one of the things he mentioned in the video, because I watched the whole thing, is that he, without saying, "Oh, this was my sister's case," he said, you give somebody, did he say 10 million or something like that? You set them up, or he mentioned, give them some, some whatever million is. He said, and they come back to you after a few years. So in his case, I think he's probably said maybe he wasn't as thorough. He didn't have the time to say, let me walk through you. He just gave them the money to say, go and do what you want to do. Now they've gone to do party, they're going to blow money and buy Gucci, and the money is gone. Maybe that's why you are different. And I quite like the way you've come across. Sorry, the way you've explained yours. And that goes back to what I said, managing expectations. Now, with time, your family and your relatives and extended family will now come to know that if you contact Steph, he's not going to give you the odd $20, $50. You've managed the expectations. The story will start to travel to say, the day you get money, he go set you up for good, and you dare not go back to him. So you have set up something that's clearly working for you. And this is part of the things I want us to learn from here. Some people will say it will never work, but some people will try it and it will work. I just want us to learn from this. Like I said, it's not a bashing session of people in Nigeria to say they are useless, they are whatever. Let's
Okay,
let them
I'll give
learn.
you another instance that will tell you that it will work.
Okay.
My own elder brother, how he walked through his own was that who started a borehole to sell water. You understand? So you have to check each individual. What do you think
They can
can be
manage.
sustained? Yeah. What do you think can be sustained? It's not necessarily like what they tell you. They could give you 2, 3 options. You understand? Then you walk them through and convince them why is option C
It's better
that you
for
think is going to be better. You understand? I know that those that have, maybe why I'm taking that approach is because I don't really have money to give, as in, take this 5 million because I know I don't have, and I wouldn't want you after like 2, 3 years to come back to me again. So we better walk through it.
Okay. So thank you for that, Steph. I appreciate that. I appreciate your contribution. Polo, happy Thanksgiving. Have you been sending money to Daddy Gio?
Paul, where my turkey? You are only enjoying it. You are wicked.
Paul has pardoned all the turkeys. You don't pardon them.
That's exactly where I want to say first. You have to say it loosely the way you tell people happy Thanksgiving, because it's not everybody that celebrates it.
Oh, that's true. For those celebrating, yeah, that's true.
Yes, so some people don't celebrate it. It's like you telling a Jehovah Witness person happy Christmas. You understand? So loosely, no make them too hard. It's not everybody that celebrates it.
Happy Turkey Day.
Yes. So talking about this issue on ground, some of us may live in the West for maybe a very long time, some of us not so long, some of us maybe a very long time, but maybe we just get our feet together not so long. Some people struggle for many years. Maybe when they start getting their feet, that's when they can say, okay, it's time to help my extended family, classmates, friends, and the like. I happen to be that person who have done a lot in terms of schooling, help my school, help with this, try that. I've really, really put my hands on so many things because I work and I also do business here and there. So sometimes I want to also challenge us. Sometimes when we tell people about business, I strongly believe that we ourselves, living in the West, family or friends must have also told us about business. And some of us must have also tried some of these businesses and even regret. So the way we even push people into businesses, oh, do this, don't you think it will work and everything? Time and chance change things. If my son do well in school today and is 8 years old, if he did well in school, you don't expect me to buy an automobile car for my son. But if I buy a toy car for my son, he's going to use that toy car. But if I buy an automobile car for my son, I'll still be the one that will be using the car. So these things, because I tried so many things. At the time, I told somebody, I said, I want to see that this business that you are so convinced you want to take my money. I want to see that the business is profitable. Say the business is profitable, is doing this, is doing that. Then I said, can we do it this way? I want to be getting a return on the investment. So which means you pay back. I'm giving you the money with no interest. Or return on investment, I want to get, which means you will pay back. So what I did, I gave this person 900,000. This is 2018. Today, as we are talking, 900,000 is a huge amount of money. 2018, do you know how many $1,000 I sent to make 900,000? So what I did, I said, okay, every month and give A 30,000, give B this, give C that. So this is how you pay back. So I create third world war among them. Yes. So those money that I sent to people, so that you will understand that it's not easy, because when A asks, B will support and blackmail you like you are wicked. So now the proceed of A, you B collect them. You understand? So by proceed of A, let B collect it. Nothing work. It work first month, second month, and third month. Do you know why it work first month, second month, and third month? It is the same money that you are giving back. It's just like part of the 900,000. You just take some and give, not return on investment. So we might think of good businesses and everything, but sometimes these are people who are capable of doing a 40,000 naira business that you go expand them to 500,000 business. They start eating their capital, they thought it's profit. You understand? You and I might feel for these people when you travel back, you see them, they are doing petty trade that is next to nothing. You feel you want to expand them, that it may be good. Then you discover that expanding these people investment, they go ballistic. They don't understand, because this is their strength. It's not easy to move that fast. The ones that will tell you business is the one that will tell us to buy land to build us, and they don't know anything about land. They don't know anything about these documents. Just like they tell us the same thing will happen to them. They just see their neighbor doing these businesses and the person is doing very well. Boom, they jump into the business. And what they fail to understand, these are things that I know. I have so many friends who make money, not in the name of salary. They make money on the back door. And when they make all this money, they give their wife money. If a man give his wife 50,000 naira, 100,000 every month as upkeep, food allowance, and this wife has his own business, and the woman is putting, say, 60, 50,000 naira to run the home, and every month the woman is making money from the husband and putting back into that business, which means she's not touching her capital. Her husband is doing very well. And when your husband is doing very well, probably you see most women who do business in Nigeria, they are doing business, their husband is paying rent. I want to believe some of us must have experienced it, or we as children, we experience it from our own parents, where my mother have 2 stores, but my papa now they pay store rent. That is not business. The day my father lost his job, it started affecting my mother's business, because my mother is not really running business. She's doing more like a charity organization. Crowdfunding is coming from left, right, and center. So all these things, we've not factored all those things. And when you try to analyze all these things before you give people money, they don't want, in fact, they will even block you on phone. You are just being wicked. So sometimes they emotionally blackmail you, make you look wicked, and you put this money. Then what you hear is say, Jonathan government just spoil everything. Buhari government, Fashola, Sanwo-Olu. My brother, I've lost a lot of money. So instead of me to give somebody 1 million right now, it looks like we are doing debates now. 1 million right now, and in 3 months' time, the money is gone. In 4 months' time, the money is gone. I'll keep praying to my good Lord to be giving them 50,000 naira. I am telling you, because my 50,000 naira will go a long way. What I do with my siblings, I use the word my siblings, whether they see this video or not. I send A 300,000. I say 3 of Onamona share. Tomorrow I send B. I say 3 of Onamona share. Because every time you give A will tell you, say, the last time he give me money, now 1 year ago, now that time when mommy died. They need a disclosure. So I put all of them
make
together.
it open.
I make it open. When it's time for their children's school fees and everything, we have group WhatsApp. I say, I see your grade, I sponsor you. You understand? If I see your grade, throw your grade, how you are doing in school. If I see your grade, I pay your school fees. If I don't see your grade, uncle, our school don't used to do. Get out of that school. That school don't have any quality. You understand? You see the children, they scam me. Uncle, I'm having skin erection, skin this, skin that. My brother, I do video. Show me. Let me see it on video. You can't see it very well because my phone is not good. You get tired of these people with excuses by the day. So it just gets me tired. Sometimes I just believe in this 50,000 and 100,000 as it deemed fit. The younger ones, what I do, that September school fees, that's the first time where they buy books, maybe new class, they buy uniform
Uniforms.
and everything. So the thing is heavy. I take that responsibility. That is my year. I take that heavy responsibility, which just passed not so long. I pay that one, I subsidize, and I go away. So you might talk businesses, you might send money, you send money. I will send up somebody money on Wednesday. They tell you that, oh, we know say you did busy. We know say you did busy. I was planning to call you on Sunday that you'll be free. You understand? But I now pretend. I said, I've sent the money. Oh. They call me immediately. I've not seen the money. But when I send money, when I actually send the money, they never call me back. But when I lie that I've already sent the money, maybe it's network problem. They call me. I don't go bank or I never still see the money. Oh. I don't go bank. Bank say, so you did go this far with this money, but I'll send you money on Tuesday. And I will call you on Thursday just to check whether, I've not seen anything. Oh. Let me check. I just see no verse. Or I was planning to call you weekend because you know say you did busy well. You hear all these things, but you did not beg me the money on Sunday that you know that I'm free. You begged me the money on Monday, on Tuesday. You didn't think that I'm free to talk or to read message. But when it comes to acknowledge that money, you are waiting systematically for me to also call you that. Did you receive the money? You know, so I see these things. It's so tiring. And my brother, Righteous Man, talked something about maybe family, they didn't train them well. If I send money to my siblings, nobody, papa will train that my brother. Or maybe the papa will train that my sister. It's just an entitlement spirit, and based on the kind of conversation and discussion they get in the streets. It is the same parent that raised every one of us. You get tired. Yeah, that's my take for now.
Yeah, the other thing I want to throw here, this issue we're discussing, it's not about PDP, APC. This problem is as old as Nigeria.
Of course.
That. So we should not restrict it to government. It's not issue of government. This is a cultural problem. It is really, Mr. Steph, you are very lucky, man. The way you explain your case, you are lucky with your family. It's very hard. It's very frustrating. Just like Mikel B said it. Hopefully, we can have solution.
I can just tell Mr. Steph that I love to adopt your family. You have a good one.
Paul, hold on first. No, this is not. It's not general actually. You know, for example,
of course, yes.
For example, I think I don't have any issue with my problem. They don't even call me to ask for money because everybody is they're independent.
Yeah. You are lucky, man.
Yeah, I'm lucky. That's I'm lucky, definitely, right?
So no. You might be independent. See, my father has property, so which means I don't hear house rent. I don't hear this. But biggest bill is school fees. And set up business.
What I said is this: I said everybody is independent, right?
Correct.
So if you have children, be responsible for children's school fee. You understand me? Then if it's too high, I will support with just a little amount of money. I'm not going to pay everything for you. You understand me? Because if you are a father, you have a responsibility towards your children. You understand me? My father single-handedly trained all of us, pay our school fees to the university level. So if you are a father, you are a mother, that's what that you try to have that responsibility. Don't pass it to somebody else. Me, like you are doing, I prefer to sponsor anybody want to go to school. Right? But don't take it as a major sort for you to be always coming back. You understand me? Because you as a mother or as a father or as a family, you have to take 80% responsibility for your children, right? So if you are working, right, do that. But if you are not working, right, then I can understand that I will contribute to it. You have a husband or you have a wife, both of you should also try to carry that responsibility, then I can give you a support. It will not be my responsibility to carry the
So the Blackstone, I like where you said, but if we want to go this next level of it, sometimes where some of us comes in. So we have people who have first generation person to go to college in their family. We have people who have just second generation to go to college in their family. So we hold it of high esteem. If my father tell tell us how he struggled just to learn how to read and write, to go to have basic education. So you understand that's a privilege, not right. So when I see my niece and my nephew want to go study business administration and everything, and I kick them out, come on, go and are you school? No, go and do this. If you do this, I will single-handedly sponsor you. Not go read one course, finish, then you say no work, then you are calling me, uncle, I'm done with school. Uncle, do you have any friend that can help me for work? So I also insist on where I'll put my money, not be business administration, studying journalism.
Business admin is a good business, it's a good study.
I just found it.
That's just an example.
I just found an example.
No, wait. It can help you to manage your business for you.
Okay, Righteous Man,
for the man that's looking for a job in Nigeria where there's no job.
In a second. What I've gathered from what has been discussed over the last maybe 15, 20 minutes is, see, there's no one size fits all. Like we all agreed. Families are different. What works for Steph will not work for Paul. What works for Paul might not work for Tom. So I actually like what Steph said. It works for his family. And he's working for him. If you try it, Paul, go work. You understand? And if Steph is doing what Paul is doing to say, the day you need 50K, I'll give you, don't disturb me for another 2 months or 6 months, it won't work for Steph. So there are different dynamics. So the beautiful thing is, people who are watching this right now and those who will watch it later can adopt these systems and try it and see what works for them. If they try Paul's method of, let me just service them as we go on, if it's not working, then they can say, you know what, let me adopt Steph's approach and say, I don't care if you drop tomorrow, give me the next 2 years, let me gather money. In those 2 years, you go and think of what you want to do. We'll plan it, we'll set you up. So different ideas will come up. But I know the righteous man wants to go and talk about the righteous men in Nigeria, the imams and the pastors, because that tax is heavy as well. It is heavy. Honestly, I tell you for free, I have friends, I have colleagues I've worked with that they will tell me that their mom, it's always moms especially, that my mom has been calling me, why am I not married? Or my mom has been calling me, all my mates are building house in Ibadan, all my mates are building house in Lagos, I've not built land, I've not built this. My mom is worried that I'm not doing well. She said the pastor said this and that. The imam is said we should buy this goat and kill that. That actually happens to a lot of people that entertain it. Me, I'm stubborn. See, the persona I have on this show is I just come here, occasionally I'll raise my voice. I am a very stubborn human being. Like, nobody tells me, I don't listen to anything. So my mom does not even come to me with any of those. When I was 30 and I wasn't married, she called me on my 30th birthday and she prayed on the phone. Then she wanted to, I said, I said, and she said, okay. And I won't be rude. Some of us just, your parents know that they don't come to you with, pastor said, leave it. I'm the shepherd of my own life. It's okay. Like Paul will say, the one way I don't draw my own before pastor. So I beg. So, but there are people dealing with this. And I know the righteous man wants to touch up on it. And there are pastors who exploit it and imams. Righteous man, the mic is yours.
Yeah. This is like this. Your section is better off what we normally have on Saturday and Sunday. Very. I am really enjoying it. Everywhere is cool and quiet. Very interesting. Anyway, I want the panelists to appreciate our brother here, AY. AY, I'm sorry to mention it. Last Sunday I did mention of that woman that had issue of her goods being stolen by Danford driver. And after the program, AY collected my account and sent 50,000 naira. By Monday afternoon, I went and picked it. Immediately I closed from work, I picked up my secretary. I said, look, we're going somewhere. We drove down to the woman's shop. I told my secretary to cover it. AY, you have the video right now, right? You have the video.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. In fact, that woman fainted in her shop. The tears, it was like, can this be real? somebody I don't know. I am giving this testimony in order to encourage us in doing well. You see, giving is a natural thing. There are people that have that gift of giving. Like when I came back to Nigeria, my wife floated an NGO. We pay school fees and buy books for children whenever they are using the widows. We give them rice and clothes until our economy shrink. So we stopped it. But once in a while, if there is any blessing, December time, we buy some things and go to church or recreational homes and give to people. So it's a gift, it's a natural thing. You are not giving because that person is related to you. You are giving because inside you, you feel that you need to bless somebody's life. So last Saturday, I think, was it Saturday or Friday show when I came online, I told you that I was in the hospital, right?
Yes.
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 Yeah. My wife had a major surgery that if you watch, I was in the hospital ward when I was watching this. She had a major surgery. Now, this surgery had been delayed for a long time because of the amount of money it will require. So we keep just using drugs to manage it and whatever. Because each time we go to hospital, they call this money. I say, I don't have such money to spend again. Now, this is where I am blaming the Nigerian churches. I was telling my wife, I said, after the oil industry in Nigeria, the bank, the next industry in Nigeria that is rich is the church. Now, 2 weeks ago, a lady that my wife, she just newly got married and she had nothing doing. So my wife went 2 years back and registered her in a bakery shop, paid for her to learn baking. She finished that baking and started working there. Now, she was in her shop, or when she was going to work, they gave her a handbill. This handbill is coming from a hospital. Now, this hospital is cutting off, they are giving 75% cut off of any type of surgery that you want to do. 75%. If it's a surgery that will take 1.5 million, you may end up paying only 500,000 or 400,000. They incur 75% of it. So she called my wife and said, Mommy, see what they gave us. So I was passing and they just gave us this handbill. My wife went through it. Immediately I came back, he said, it's like she will go and check this hospital. They are doing a surgery and look at the amount. If it's something 1 million, you will pay 350,000. The rest will go. I said, okay, go and check. When she went there, she finalized with them. I went with her. I did the registration and signed. My dear, the surgery was supposed to pay millions. I end up paying just 300,000 from an individual hospital. We did go to church hospitals and they were calling millions for us. But an individual sacrifice, if people that were not operated in that hospital were not much, at least about 50 individuals did surgery in that hospital. And look at the amount that this individual gave up so that people can have good health. Now, what are we receiving from churches in Nigeria? Absolutely nothing. They are busy building schools that poor people, children cannot attend, buying private jets, building cathedrals. That if you don't have a private jet in Nigeria as a minister of God, then nobody knows you. You don't have anointing. They are not competing in auditoriums that will contain 1 million people
100,000.
like in the city.
100,000 seater.
Yes.
But let me ask this question though. I know all of you are Christians here, so I don't know if Paul is a traditional. I'm just kidding, Paul. So this tight money, right?
I don't suffer
We are
from
the
this people
people
when they
giving them
for
money.
upstairs for this
If
platform.
anybody can,
Depending on what
what
they
is this
upstairs.
tight money meant for? Like when you give it to the church, what are they supposed to use it to do? Anybody can just answer that question.
Wait, righteous man, I'll take this. Righteous man, we must be careful. I don't think it is fair and right for us to pick out a certain section of the society and blame. We are talking about, like AY rightly said, we are talking about an attitude. That's why I call it an attitude that's been going on for a long time. Now it has graduated, and that's part of the reasons that why I believe that our politicians are messing up. Right now, I mean, when you look at our politicians across now, even the so-called LP politicians too, there are some thieves among them. Only say they never get the kind of opportunity APC have got, because APC have taken over the whole place. Now, with reference to that tithe, the real reason, the biblical reason for the tithe is for the man of God to use and support the poor and the needy, especially the widow in church. But it's not being used. This money, now, most of these churches, they do not have, they're not answerable to anybody. The pastor is usually the CEO, the wife is the assistant CEO, then it's passed on to the sons and all that. They can spend, they can hire and fire. So that is the problem. They are not regulated, so to say.
So the reason I was asking, right? Yes, that's a good answer. Thank you, Tone. Because I feel, to me, I'm not a Christian, but I really have issue with how they operate on this money. Because in Islam, for example, Muslim also pay a form of tithe. They call it zakat, yearly zakat. So it's not for everybody. So you need to have a threshold. There is a threshold where you have certain amount of money for a year. That's where you are obliged to pay that money. But that money, like in Islam, there are several people that are seriously prescribed to get this money according to how they need it. Like the first, the poor, the needy, like the orphans, they listed them like that. And you can even start from the family. You have a poor brother, anybody you are not supposed to be responsible for. It's not your responsibility. You can give them that money. So it's more like you looking for the person yourself. Even I know my friend is poor, they're struggling, it's really hard for them. I can give them zakat. I know my family member is poor, is really struggling. I can give them zakat. Yeah. So I think you see, human being need check and balance. This is one thing I believe, because it's just like they say, absolute power corrupt absolutely. Everybody take money and give to one person, they use it for themselves. So they're not using it for the purpose the money is meant for. I think that's where the problem is coming from.
AY,
let me. Rastas man, please hold on. Let me.
I would have loved to submit.
But
Yeah, don't worry, you'll go after Blackstone.
Let me come in there. The issue of tithe, if you look where the Bible talk about tithe, you understand me, it's very clear. One thing I take out of that place is that bring your tithe into the storehouse. You understand me? The storehouse is not the church. You understand me? It didn't say bring your tithe to the priest. It didn't say pay your tithe to the pastors. Right? Like AY said in the Muslim tradition, you understand me? You can use your tithe to support anybody you want to support. You can pay your tithe to the NGOs. You can use your tithe to support the people going to school. That's why it said, but what the Bible said, it said 1/10 of your income. So that's what you call it. That's what it is tithe. It's not the payment. It's because of 1/10 of your income. You understand me? So that 1/10 is what make it a tithe. And you can decide to do it willingly. Jesus Christ said one thing, said, if you give a cup of water in my name to any of this little one,
You have
you
done
do it unto
Mm.
me. So the pastors have actually abused that issue of tithe. You understand me? Okay, do you know that most of the billionaires, they also pay tithe because they pay 10% of what they are earning to organizations to help the poor, to NGOs, to support people. You understand me? So wherever you give your tithe to, does not mean that you're not going to get it a blessing from it. It's not the pastor supposed to give it to, it's not the church. If I have to give to the pastor, fine. But let the pastors not abuse it and make it a thing that if you don't do it, suppose somebody said that if you don't pay that, you won't go to heaven. I don't know where they find us such comment in the Bible. So Nigerians always abuse things all in the name of money.
I think it's human beings in general.
Okay, human beings in general, just I mean, because that is an avenue, an easy avenue to enslave your congregations. When people are not doing well, you say, because you're not paying your tithe. Are you paying your tithe? You're not paying your tithe. You know, so not to the extent that they even go up that if you're not paying tithe, you're not recognized as a member of the church. There are some churches like that.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Righteous Man. We'll run this off in the next 40 minutes. That will make it 3 hours. Righteous Man.
Yeah, John, what I was trying to say is that church being an organization, there should be responsibilities that the people, should turn back and say, okay, the church took this responsibility and then I was made whole. For example, in the Bible, after the people followed Christ for a number of days, they were about to go. The disciples told them to go. Jesus said, no, these people that have followed us have been hungry. So we have to feed them physical food before they will go back. So if the society is not benefiting from the church or from the mosques or from any religious organization, they are defaulting in their commitment towards God and man. Let me remind us of what Abiola said in 1993. Abiola said, I attended a missionary school and my parents were poor and I never paid a dime. The late MK Abiola, he attended a Muslim, but he attended a school owned by a church that because he came from a poor family, he did not pay school fees. Today in Nigeria, how many churches are looking at the poor people and giving their children scholarship? How many churches are building hospitals and giving free medical treatment without charging money? How many churches in Nigeria today are feeding the poor? It's not as if I'm speaking evil of the men of God. No, I respect them. I'm a Christian. But the truth is that if we go back to
network.
I guess maybe he has a call.
Okay. Let me just say something relating to what you just said. There's a minister in Nigeria who do sponsor people for under scholarship to study in Europe and abroad. You understand me? So I'll give you a story that came out. He saw two guys who were working one of these fast food joints.
Those happy boys. They were deported from Cyprus.
Yeah, what happened when the economy of the country changed during the coronavirus, they could not send money to them. What did they do? They made a video. You understand me? Blacklisting that guy. That is status here. Come and suffer. It's no more. After some years of paying their school fees in that university, you understand me? They came and made a video against him. So this is also the mindset of people in Nigeria. You forgot that man was helping you at the very beginning, but now refuse to understand the situation.
The Blackstone. There is the Blackstone is like let me tell you about what happened to Patrick Anwuzie back then, Zoe Ministry.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've not heard that in a
So
long time. Zoe Ministry.
yeah, Zoe Ministry.
Boy.
Zoe Ministry. Amuzie gets to the second level, the second highest level of Amok. He was fighting hard to get to the highest level of Amok, but he couldn't make it. So when he was doing it, they called him, they warned him, and everything. You know, it's like somebody who study medicine in Nigeria now says 700 level, and you got rusticated. It is only certificate you don't have, but you have the knowledge. You just don't have certificate. If you run a church as an individual, that is why they will mock you. If that church is well structured, you understand, people will say, oh, I didn't get my funding for my school fees. It is you, that general overseer, will look into that department, what is going on. But when you run the thing like you are the one helping people, when it's not your money, it's our money. Don't let us learn how to understand run church that it is charity organization. It is not me funding a charity organization that I'm waiting that if I give every donor, they'll come back and thank me. You understand? It is the church that puts the money together. But when these men make themselves powerful, this is where they get all those type of things. We have to stop these things. That is one thing that I would tell you. You know, we make ourselves too relevant over individuals.
Yeah, no,
and it's not too good.
Paul, actually,
it's not too good.
Paul, this they also do to individuals. They also do these things to individuals. If you are,
but don't use individual to judge corporate.
Wait. I'm not using it. I'll just give you an example. You understand? There are sometimes, that you do something for some people, at the end of the day, the way their behavior now make you to regret why did you even do it. You understand me?
Okay,
so
I hear you.
Paul, sorry. What you said about our zone ministry. Are you sure?
Oh yes. Yes.
Can you talk more about it? That is the first time I'm hearing something like that.
Oh yes. Because it was
it before he became a pastor or after he became a pastor?
No, Paul. When he was a pastor. When he was a pastor.
No.
It was rusticated.
So
it was kicker.
They say he who alleges must prove.
Listen, we are bordering on slander. Please, let's be careful.
That's what I asked him. Whether he has proof.
It is not true. Somebody came up with that gossip. It's not true. Please let us be careful. I know him personally. It did not happen. There's no truth.
You might know him personally. I'm talking about the head of Restitution Order. Restitution Order have two. The head of Restitution Order. Hold on.
He's never been involved in Amok. Please, guys.
I watch it personally where the head of Restitution Order, you understand, the president then is from Edo State, said how they call him different times. You understand? Because it's a religion. One of the criteria to be a Restitution Order, you must have one.
It is a lie. Paul,
why are you saying it's a lie? When the president talked how he was rusticated.
That's why I said, let's be careful. I'm not here to.
So where are your facts that you said is a lie?
See, listen, I'm not here to argue.
Let's leave this topic.
I have a professor that was Hammock member. He doesn't hide it.
No, some people just hide it because of criticism. The criteria of becoming a Restitution Order, you must have one spiritual belief. Whether a Muslim, a Christian,
that's right.
You understand? You must have one belief. That's just it.
Okay. Just because somebody said if somebody comes and say Tony is a member of the Oboni and all that, then you take it, you take it and publish it without verifying. That is slander. That is what you're trying to do now.
Oh no! What Amuzie, when he was preaching, when he was talking, he keeps saying this thing that he has getting to the level. So let me tell you about Restitution a little bit. He keeps talking. So when you get
Restitution is a secret society.
It's not. First of all, it's not a secret society. It's a secret society.
Don't tell me. I'm not interested. I'm not interested.
I'm not talking to only you now. I'm not talking to you now. So you don't shut me down what I say. You just tell me that.
No,
I'm not talking to
you. Please, let's leave the topic. Let's leave the topic.
With all due respect, that is why I say let's leave it. It's a bit touchy.
But you said leave it, but you condemn it. That's not how to leave it. Which means you just accuse me that I'm lying, but you don't want to give me a chance to defend myself. That's not proper.
Let's
just
move
sound like
this
Nigerian soldier now. You
because,
just beat without asking question.
No, Paul, please. These are nothing to do what we are talking today. So let's remove that out of it altogether.
No, somebody asked a question,
no.
not
I know
him.
he asked
That's
a
why.
question. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know he did ask a question. You know, so there are some
So
topics that
the Blackstone. I'm going to leave that part, but let me make you understand.
You know why? Do you know why I asked that question?
During Hajj in Nigeria, as a Christian during Hajj in Nigeria, when I get to Sokoto, when I was working in the airline in Nigeria during Hajj, the good thing is that how painful it is, I look like Malam. I am skinny, I am dark, I am tall.
You wear
I wear all my
jalabia.
jalabia, but I don't even know how to speak Hausa. Just little, I don't know how to speak Hausa. But guess what? So as a Christian in Sokoto, it's a secret society. Because I dare not tell anybody that I'm a Christian. So when we celebrate as a Christian, we hide and celebrate it. That is what is called secret society. Just to let you know, in certain place, you understand, because that religion is not welcome, it becomes secret. So when we talk about this order and every other thing, it is where the society condemns. It's like an Ogboni who is a pastor, hide it. But an Ogboni who is not a pastor or an imam, don't hide it. You see how it works now? That's why it's because of the society will condemn it dearly. That's why you hide it. You understand? Just to make you understand. So there's nothing like secret society. Just to let you know, there is nothing. It is just where you are highly, highly criticized. That's why you are hiding it, because of other things that you are doing.
But there are secret societies anyway. Because why is it secret?
There are, yes. Yeah. I just tell you the context of why it becomes secret.
No, Paul, that's wrong. The main thing they do, the sacrifice they do are not known to outside members. That's what it is. If you're not a member,
they don't carry me go where no.
So the main thing they do,
even me, I don't lost.
So what
the main thing they do, AYA every day tell you that you can read the Quran, but you cannot understand the Quran. So, is that not the main thing they do that I don't understand it? Or till I become one of them? Is that not the same thing we as a Christian don't say the Bible is deep? You can read it like literature. Is it not the same thing?
Paul. If you are not been there, you never understand it.
If I'm not being Christian, will I understand it? If I'm not a Muslim, will I understand it?
Paul, wait. These are quite different from such societies.
Strange because they did not sell it like they sell Christian and Muslim to us. That's what I'm saying.
Paul, let me tell you something now. Do you know the Mormon?
Yeah, I know the Church of Mormon.
I know them. Yeah. I have a friend there.
My family, my father's last born, my auntie. Yeah. I go their place every day.
Wait. Do you know that the deeper you go into Mormon, I have a friend who was a member of Mormon, very deep member of Mormon. The deeper you go, then you begin to know what they do that the other members doesn't know. I have a friend.
But you've not been a Mormon. No, I have a Mormon family.
Wait,
over 40 years of my life.
I have my best friend was a Mormon. And I do go fellowship with them before. You understand me? But it's not my own type of thing, you understand me? But it was deep inside, really deep inside. You understand? So what I'm trying to say that if you are not deep inside, if you're in the society
every deep Methodist or a Catholic or a Muslim is a society person. That is what they'll tell you the day you leave that religion.
Okay, Paul.
If you're a strong Muslim, the day you leave, they'll tell you, the person will tell you that there are things that you don't know. It is always when you denounce. The day you denounce Christianity, I was born Christian. If today I can question so many things they do, do you know why? You understand? So I can criticize it too.
That's how it is. No, let's leave it like that. There's no problem.
I like Paul's views though. He's actually saying the truth.
Okay, I asked Paul a question. And the reason why I asked him is because he made a statement. And this is a public forum.
Exactly.
And the statement he made, if I didn't come back to ask him, people have already heard it. So that's why the clarification is necessary. I was asking him, do you have proof? He said that the head of the society said so. Now, the next question is, have Anwuche admitted publicly that he's a member of that society?
Okay, there you go. I like this question. So now let me tell you about execution order. Execution order have 1 to 12. Then you become a grand master of the order. When Mandela, like in the West now, they said they make a mistake to make Mandela get to the level. Mandela is the first African to get to the level of a grand master, you understand, of the order of the execution. That's why in the lodge, they can't do Mandela anything. What Yoruba will call awo. You understand? Awo, they can't take themselves down. They can punish you when they get to office. You understand? But they can't take themselves down. You ask yourself, if the West, if they take Mandela down when Mandela was doing anything, what court would they take Mandela to for them to keep Mandela 27 years? No court. This is how powerful, if you want to talk about powerful, because great men are all there that they are doing that thing. Google it on your own time, you will see it. Mandela, Wole Soyinka say he cannot be so strong like Nelson Mandela. You understand? Say he cannot be so strong like Nelson Mandela. So what I'm telling you, grand execution order have level 1 to 5. Level 1 to 5, this is where they tell you, don't do this thing. Don't do this thing. Something will happen. Don't go to work today. Maybe they see something on the way, like the way spiritual people will tell you certain things. But when you get to level 6, this is where you know how to do things yourself, how to enter bush and take leave and do things. They do things like Africans, where you can take leave, do things together. Let me land. Don't shut my train of thought, please. It's important. We're in public. You understand? Don't shut. So this is when you start doing something. When Patrick Anwuzie get to that level, at a time, Anwuzie started getting proud, started going a little bit contrary to what he do. So they started calling him. They started telling him. You understand? They started telling him. So the thing was coming out, so when they kick him out, he felt mad because that was the peak of his career as a pastor. He was doing well, all the boat stuff, got a branch in the UK, going places, do program in stadium. When they kick him out, the thing get to a level. He, on his own, I watch it, not something that they tell me. He, on his own, said, but he played the game well as a pastor. He said he was once a member. As a student and everything, he was once a member, but he left. You understand? But the president then is from Edo State, Commerce side, and said, no, he didn't leave like as he's telling you some 20 years ago. We just asked him to leave. We just kick him out because he's breaking our rules and everything. And it is the thing that he's getting that he's bragging. This is not what we do as a lodge member and everything. He, on his own, I watched it with Fumi Eyoda, New Dawn on 10 back then. He, on his own, said he was a member, but he left 30 years ago, that whether his landlord or something initiated him into it, he did it, then left. But it was just like lying, but he was still a member. Probably maybe when he was growing up, parents knew about it and everything. Then he pretended that he's no longer a member, but he was still doing it.
Okay. I hope that answers the question. So Paul is saying that he watched it on Fumi Yoda, who I believe most people.
I don't even know the person, but Paul normally Paul doesn't talk anyhow. Okay. I know Paul doesn't talk, say this, he doesn't know. So
well, I mean, it's neither here or there. Some people will believe, some won't. But at least Paul is saying that he watched it, so we can only go by that.
It's just because of the level that they've trained on. Like I keep saying it all the time, like I joke. This slim that I slim today, it's all the old meat that my Muslim people give me that my mom that make us throw away. I will throw away. If I chop all those meat, I for fat today. You understand? Because it comes with heavy criticism. But my brother, since I started chopping it now, why I never die? Since I started following my Muslim people, eat all these things, why I never die? You understand? So this is how it is. So when you start growing and everything, today we start seeing different religions from different parts of the world. Can somebody travel back in the years to say go Indian? No, they'll gossip you say you go take power.
Paul,
So
can I
30
just
years
chip
ago in
in?
Nigeria, if you travel to India, they say na power you go take. Nobody
Even
know
till
whether you
now,
go learn.
self, people say
Okay.
Paul, can I,
still, yeah.
Okay, I
Paul,
think
can
Tim
I
wants
just
to say
chip in?
something.
Paul, can I chip in something very respectfully? I'm not attacking you, but I'm going to speak from my heart to you as my brother that I've come
Okay.
to know here on this platform. I'm not ashamed to say I'm a Christian. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a churchgoer. I believe in the risen Christ. Okay. Now, all these stories I've heard before, because when it was really operating in the supernatural, a lot of things were happening. There were a lot of stories. These are stories that were concocted, yeah, to bring him down. Whatever caused him to go down, I do not know. When you attain a certain, even the great Idahosa, which I was privileged to meet when I was even young and all that, people said he was a member of one cult to the other and all that, and that was why a lot of miracles were flowing and all that. Please, my brother, if you are contemplating or getting yourself involved with Amok, run. I'm telling you what I would tell you, even if I see you in flesh and blood. It is a trap. On the surface, they can only tell you it is harmless. It's just a spiritual awakening and all that. It is a trap. That is one of the agencies that will get you to hell sooner that you know. That's all I'm just going to say. By the way, we have departed away from the subjects we are talking
That's
about.
true.
Let's just keep. Maybe we'll talk. Maybe one day, like forefathers will say, another one of these Sundays, another or late
I
night
think Sunday
thing.
school, maybe
We'll talk. We'll
electricity
talk
will handle
religion.
Sunday school.
Huh?
I said maybe electricity will do the Sunday school so you can discuss
Sunday
all
school.
religions and
Exactly.
Ambok
Let's go
and
back to.
Sorry, 1 second. Righteous man, talking about religion. Let me tell you one funny thing about religion.
righteous man or two.
Many years ago, when I became citizen, so I told my mother, I said, Mommy, I've become a citizen. My mother couldn't understand it because she celebrated it very well when I had my green card, which was what everybody know. Anyway, you don't get green card. So my mother don't understand what is you becoming a citizen. I think you say you don't get that now. Which one be another one again? Oh, as a citizen, I can vote, I can do anything. In fact, I can stay in Nigeria for 50 years, not go back. I'm still a citizen. I can be in Nigeria, vote in America. So I explained all this thing. I didn't even know that I was creating a whole big problem for my mom. My
Managing
mom went to the church
expectations.
and explained the thing. They say, Mama, your pikin don't become American citizen. If anything happen to American will send plane, America will send this. They told my mother to go buy 250 chairs, this white plastic chairs in church. And that is the period where I started giving up, because I don't strong now in the West. I understand better. So my mother already knows that this one Oniranu Naijomo. My mother, they started bugging my mother. My mother went and begged my younger brother to help. So that, my mother is powerful now. Deaconess, this, that. My mother was restless, looking for the money to buy the chair to go do the Thanksgiving. My mother went and tell my younger brother. My younger brother said, I don't even get passport. I did not even go to 204 first tax to go get passport. Now me get citizen that I will buy. My mother scat for money and stress tenants to pay 6 month rent just to go pay bountiful tithes for a son who becomes citizen. I did not tell my mother that I'm applying for citizenship. I did not tell my mother the day I'm going for my interview, Mommy, pray for me so that I can pass. I did not tell my mother anything. My mother did not know nothing. I only become citizen. You understand? That same day, I applied for my passport, my voter's card, and every other thing before I told my mom. You understand? And they say they are the one that pray that make me get it. Is it not funny?
Paul,
It's
wait first.
interesting.
Paul, wait first. You know what I mean? All these things are enlightenment. You understand me, right? But let me say something. Yeah, I say that most people call themselves pastors. Those are all these like small churches who are like having a small hall looking for money to
Plus
survive.
big church.
No, wait. No, I know where I'm going to. Right. So they want to find a way of buying equipments or buying chairs, but because they need those chairs, that's why they have to use that. That will go through that route to tell your mommy, yeah, come and do Thanksgiving, or go and buy this one, go and buy some, come and do Thanksgiving. It's just a way. For me, there was no reason for her to do those things. You understand me? There's no reason for her to do those things, right?
It's part of the tax that I say that we pay. They look at your vulnerable parents and they exploit them.
They look at exploit them. So sometimes my mom will tell me, we have Thanksgiving at our church. I say, mama, if you get money, go and do your Thanksgiving. Me, I'm not getting money to send for you for Thanksgiving. She'll leave me alone, go do her own thing. You understand me? So I don't care, because for me, if I have to give money to a church, it is come from my mind. Not that you have to tax me.
God loves a cheerful giver. Righteous man, you can come in.
You see, let's not mix these things. You understand? What I was actually referring to is corporate service of the church, corporate responsibility of the church. You know, there are two different things. You know, a church as an institution, as an organization, must have corporate responsibilities, and those responsibilities are expected to affect the life of the people. You don't need to be a Christian to be affected by the church rendering help to the society. Like Abiola, as I was saying, he was a Muslim, but he attended a Christian church free of charge on scholarship. And even while he was in prison here, when Abacha arrested him, he held his Bible. His son, Kola, was saying each time he goes there, he started calling him Bishop. He was reading his Bible because he attended a missionary school and he got the knowledge of Christ and God. So the church in Nigeria, to be honest, is not a criticism of any pastor, but the church in Nigeria, the corporate responsibilities of the church in Nigeria is dead. Pipe-borne water, they are not doing it. Hospital treatment, they are not doing it. School, they are not doing it. Now, giving is a personal thing. When my mom was alive, while I was in Lagos, then I've not traveled, she will call on me that their church, they want to do Thanksgiving. I give, because if I cannot give for the things of God, as long as I believe there is a creator called God, as long as I believe in the resurrected Christ, as long as I believe
not a creator called God, a supreme being called God.
Yeah, as long as I believe in salvation through Christ, there is no reason why I should not contribute towards the things of the church. You understand? For me, it's a joyful thing that I contributed. It is not left for the pastor and God. If he's using it for wrong purposes, that judgment is between him and God. I have played my own role. You understand? So giving to church is good. Giving to your parents, because the truth is this: prayer works. You see, prayer, it does miracles. It does work. I have experienced it. In my own life, I've experienced the effect of prayer, that I did not pray, but somebody stood for me and made those prayers, and it affected my life positively. So let's not rule it out. It works. You don't need to be there to pray. Somebody can intercede on your behalf. That's true. Things will work. Then giving, you see, if God has given you life, which you did not pay for, there are many people that have tried to be in abroad. They couldn't make it. That you are there does not mean you were more righteous than those who did not make it. It is still the grace and the gift of God. And if by any means there is a way you need to pay back to God, maybe through giving or helping people in the church or financing one project in the church, my brother, do it, because you are doing it for yourself.
I got a trust man. Wait first. You just said one thing, right? We are talking about corporate responsibility of the church, right? You said if you give and whatever the church does with it, it's not. So I believe that once you give to a church, once you give to God, or once you pay your tithe or your giving to the church, it is not you to question what they do with it, because you are giving in your heart, you believe you are giving to God, and God is the one that now will reward you back. You understand me? So if I'm not questioning the rationality why the church is not using the money for what they're using it for, or what I expected to use it for, that means that I'm giving to man.
I think I disagree slightly.
Sure. Let me finish. Let me.
Okay.
Well, I need that the freeze for this place. So
wait. Let me just finish.
Okay, finish. That's
okay.
fine.
Okay. For example, I'm a Christian. Understand? I was in a church whereby the citizens, people, members were complaining about the pastors. They come and give an account what is doing with the money. I said, if you are giving to the church, you understand me? You are not giving to the church in your mind. It should be that you are giving to God. So let God. No, wait first.
I'm not interjecting. I just shake my head.
So let God judge. Let God judge the pastors or the members or the people in the corporate who are the elders or the pastors and everything, and let you yourself focus on God according to your giving.
Okay.
You understand me? That's my own belief.
That's fine.
Yeah, because if I continue to question my giving, what they are doing with their giving, so I'm giving to man, not more to God.
Okay.
And number two, also for me, in America, there are many churches who have schools. Those schools are not free. People pay tuition fee, maybe cheap and everything. You understand me? So I'm not supporting what they are doing in Nigeria. You understand me? But all over the world, Pentecostal church, people like that is, I call it as a family business. Pentecostal church. So let the Catholic Church, because who has who has members who are the people taking decision or ruling, giving decisions, sending pastors or appointing pastors for the different branches, as well and so forth. But in the Pentecostal church, it's more of a family business. The man that established it, before you know that if he's going to leave the church, he's going to leave it for his own son or his own wife. You understand me? Because they feel that they established it. You understand me? So what they are doing, most of the decision they are doing is first thing for the so-called GEO or GEO, or the founder of the church. It take prominence. His decision is final most of the time.
Still what happened? There is difference between ministry and church. So we Nigerians confuse these two things. You can run a ministry. Ministry is different from church, because church must have a constituted body that take responsibilities of financial status and sharing of whatever that is required. But a ministry is a private business that you run on your own.
Yeah,
maybe
no,
just like
who's a CEO? When they say that the GO, the general overseer, he has the final authority because he established the church. So he established something. The other people are just appointed like workers. They are workers under him.
If I can get a word in.
Okay, can I make my
So sorry, I'll just quickly say this since I've not said anything for about 20 minutes. Where I disagree slightly with the Blackstone is when it says when you give money, you don't look at it. I personally, and I respect that, that's your opinion and that should be respected. I personally will look at it because when I give money to an institution, a church as an example, there are ways I expect it to be spent. If I feel, I might be wrong, but if I have a feeling that the pastor is using the money we are contributing to enrich himself and his family and live beyond his means, I will take my money elsewhere to another church where I believe in the way they spend it. Now, there's no perfection anywhere. I know of churches in Lagos where some people might say, oh, that church still has some flaws. But I know of a particular church in Lagos that they have something they call like cell network, like, house fellowships. And they've built this nucleus around Lagos that no member of their church that is known as a member of their church. Now you can say, why must it be their members? Remember, they can't feed the whole of Lagos. But no member of their church must go to bed hungry. If you make it known, the people on your street, 2 streets away, will make sure your household eats before you go to bed. Their pastor don't have a private jet. He lives a comfortable life. But if he takes all the money, he can afford the jet, just like most of other people. So that's why I'm saying that if I give money,
I beg, show, send me the church name, I beg.
It is Daystar. Daystar. No member of Daystar Church.
No, but he's no longer in Nigeria now. He has left Nigeria. He has relocated.
He's still in Nigeria. The church is still in Nigeria.
The
He
church
just
is in
Is
traveled.
it not, what's the name of that pastor?
Adeyemi.
He spends
Yeah, he's no longer in Nigeria. He's no longer in Nigeria.
He's back. He spends a lot of time in Atlanta, but
yeah,
the church still runs. I agree. He spends more time in Atlanta than in Lagos. But I'm saying that I know a church like that runs like that. Now, if I see a church where, I mean, imagine a pastor, I can't remember his name, what's this guy in America, this Oyinbo man, that said that he was going to buy his 3rd private jet. And he said to God, how do I pay for this jet? And God said, don't worry, ask your members. For me, I have an issue with that. Why do you have 3 private jets? Doing what exactly? And Nigerian pastors, some of them are emulating this. I cannot contribute money to that. I'm not saying people shouldn't. Let's get it right. If you're happy, contribute, but don't contribute and go and complain. I will take my money to where I think it is spent to do the right things.
Okay,
I don't think our churches should build schools that the average man cannot afford.
Okay, sure.
That's my opinion.
So let me clear something here. What I said was timing.
Okay.
If I'm giving a tithe or offering to the church, right, I don't need to question that. Right? But if maybe the church is raising and a fund, maybe for church building, to build a school, to do that thing, you understand me? And people are contributing to that fund, and the church now is not using those funds to carry out that project that they want to, that they are raising those funds for. You understand me? Then I can say, I will question them, say, this is the reason you raise this fund, and what is this? What is that? Why is the project not taking place? Why is it not good? That's my way.
I respect that.
So that's
I
my
won't question. I won't even question at all. I will just take my
so
money
why
elsewhere.
I said that?
Why do I question you? It's your church.
Why I said that? If I give offering, right, I don't give offering to man. I give to God. That's my belief.
But God is not here to collect it.
Well, now, yes, God is not here to collect it. You understand me?
Like so, this thing you are preaching.
Wait.
Contribute to this problem for Nigeria.
Wait. It is a personal conviction. You understand me? You cannot convince me to give and not want to give. It's a personal conviction. You understand me? It is a belief. But it is what you believe that actually affects you. You understand me? So if I said I can't go to every church and maybe okay, if I go to Nigeria now, I go to the church, can't come and tell me give me an envelope and give money. I don't believe in the church. I'm not giving anything. I walk away, but the other church, when I'm convinced that moment that let me give, I will give because there's an incident in the Bible that Jesus Christ said the windows might. What do you call the windows might? You understand me? What are that illustration? Go look at your heart for giving, why you are giving. Not because you are giving, but the heart of which you are giving. That's what matters. You understand me? So if a pastor come and use all the sweet words, everything to convince me to give, that means say that offering, that giving, God will not accept it because it does not come from my heart.
Okay, thank you, Steph. Let's go. Sorry,
Okay,
thank you, Steph. Thank you, Blackton. Let's go to Steph quickly. Sorry.
I think that most times we, if we are not careful the way we draw similarities between certain things, it could affect some other people's decisions. Sometimes we try to draw similarity between giving in church and church is it a spirituality? Maybe sometimes when we say, maybe some pastors that do certain things, maybe they are not, they are more focused on money and stuff like that. The criticism about church and stuff like that, I don't really think that is the reason why something that should be subject of conversation. It's more of a personal thing. If you give in church and you don't like the way your church use the money that you give, then stop giving.
Exactly what I said.
Huh? Stop giving.
You
But
take it somewhere else.
most times the people that complain most don't even give. You know?
Maybe.
So let's just leave that by the side. If you're not comfortable, stop giving. I think that's my position. Yeah.
Which is to be respected as well.
Yeah, Steph, I like what Steph said, but to some extent, sometimes some of us truly, really want to give in that organization because you get affiliated to something. Where I grew up, the primary school that I went, I don't want that school to go down. What I enjoy in that school, I also want other people that will pass through that school also enjoy that same quality. You understand? So one of the ways to do it is to also question, to make that thing work if you feel people are abusing it. But for me to say, okay, because I feel they're abusing it, let me just walk away. That also didn't solve the problem. Just like the way the Bible said, when you close your eye for bad person to pass, by the time you open your eye, good and bad person just pass. What did you meet? Disappointment. And it's also a bad thing. You understand? One of the biggest children hospital in the world is St. Joseph Children Hospital in the world. These are hospitals that are owned by Catholic. You understand? St. Jude, St. Joseph. Do you know why all these hospitals are working very well in America? That is not also strong, that is not also big as Catholic. You understand? Remember, the Catholic is not as big as you think in America. But do you know why? Because the government regulates this organization. So if I'm to give in church, why the same Catholic fail in Nigeria? Growing up in Lagos, we get Reverend Father as white people. Somewhere along the line, it started turning to another thing. Remember, the biggest congregation in Catholic used to be the Igbos, then maybe Yoruba. We used to see Igbo Reverend Fathers in Lagos growing up. Somewhere along the line, it became heavy war. What do you see these days? Only Yoruba Reverend Father in Lagos. They started fighting themselves. You understand? Because it has become a cow thing. People are using it to benefit themselves. Reverend Father who don't have no wife, no nothing, will still go take land in his own village and build mansion there.
Who told you? Who told you? Oga Paul, who told you they don't have wife?
Let me land. Okay. You what? You thought they carry me go here? I don't know that. So, Reverend Father, the church is supposed to be his home. The children are supposed to be his children and everything. Why do you see these days, you see people go build house in their village, where the money starts taking from what you give back to the people, to this individual, becomes so powerful. These are where cause all this problem. They start fighting themselves. No Yoruba Reverend Father in the East, while will an Igbo Reverend Father in the West. You see all those things. But what I'm saying is that this same Catholic in America, they are doing tremendously well because they regulate them. Because in our own, they don't regulate them. That's why they're abusing it. So sometimes it is good to ask questions. Not like, we know your Bible said don't let your left hand see your right hand. But what is the context that your Bible said so? For me not to intimidate that next person in church when I'm putting on free, for me not to do this. Yes, we understand. But sometimes, even though the Bible will say question all faith, you understand? Paul said it. He said, challenge all faith. Challenge. You understand? It will help. The way people are abusing all these things. Because the Catholic that I know really did tremendously well during Bazaar time. They give back. Widows, they teach them skill acquisition and everything. So along the line now.
I mean, even
Catholic
most of the
school in
secondary
Nigeria
schools
is very expensive.
Most of the secondary schools were Methodist secondary school, Anglican secondary school.
There are some churches, there are some churches that are still giving back. You
Of course, and that's why I
Some
mentioned
churches are
one. So
giving
it's
back.
not all
Yes.
bad.
So not
There are
all
lots
bad.
of churches who do well.
Yes, it's not see the way some Adeyemi develop Oregon High School just because of they are using it as car park. They are not using it to do church. They only use Oregon High School as car park. They build the school from ground to finish. They develop the school, state-of-the-art equipment and every other thing.
So
just because of they are using the school for car park. They are not doing fellowship there.
There are some churches who are doing things people doesn't even know.
Of course.
People don't know hear about. Some people just that's what. But know that sometimes negative things.
It travels further, of course. It travels further.
But truth be told, the Blackstone, we might say some of them are doing, and they are not
Sure.
saying it. That is a lie. If you, pastor, you keep
Sure.
preaching, challenging
Yes,
us about giving, preach about what you give back with what you
Sure.
collect.
Yes,
When you are
sure.
not giving,
yes,
some
yes.
do it like
You,
419. They just rub
you
small oil
see,
in people's
Just
you
face.
see, these politicians we are talking about,
Mm.
they are from churches and mosques. So
Forget those guys.
I bet
no,
Wait,
that's
no,
not good. That's good at all.
politicians are a different kettle of fish.
hold on,
No,
hold on, hold on,
Politicians
hold on.
will use.
Hold,
Wait
okay,
now.
hold on.
Did you not
Do
see
you
Sanwo-Olu
know
going
that when these politicians go to church, they are given the altar, the pulpit, to read
Proxy.
psalms?
no, that's just man. Leave that
so that's
side.
political. See, politicians will use any platform to get what they want. If they have to go to Babalawo, they will go. Those ones are different. They are different demons
They're
altogether.
different human beings altogether.
But do you know that Muslims will not subject the place of their prayer
You
to a
don't know anything. I
politician?
make you the talk so. You don't know anything. I make you the talk
I'm
so.
not Muslim, so AY can.
I have not seen in
You
Nigeria
don't know.
where
I make you the talk so.
You never see
I
that.
have not seen in Nigeria where a politician was handed over their altar, the place of prayer.
Righteous
To
man,
speak.
you don't know. I make you on
man,
Friday for
Righteous
Jimo.
man.
No, I don't
Righteous man.
know. I
Assistant
don't know. I've
Controller
not
Righteous
seen.
man.
General go sit down for
Righteous
front
man.
where they do prayer for airport. Assistant
Righteous
Controller
man.
General for immigration go sit down for front. Now the same thing
Right.
we get for church. They always
Righteous
sit at the
man.
front even when they come late.
Yeah.
As I said this question, it's everywhere. It just
Righteous man. You have a
it's a
way of
societal thing.
diverting this our conversation.
I wonder.
You are the one that moved it from the original topic to where we are now, and now you want to move it to another topic.
Righteous man has taken the position of TA.
But for your information,
Anyway, you take it from my mouth.
For your information,
I'm sure you take it from my mouth. I mean to say.
I hope you are aware that the Muslims are not quick to criticize what is going on in Islam, the way Christians are quick to criticize what's going on in Christianity. So that may be the reason why when you don't hear certain things happening in Islam, don't think that it doesn't happen. See, religion as it is in the world today, like any other good thing that come in contact with deranged human beings, it changes its original form. It's not peculiar to only Christianity.
That's true.
You understand? The corruption in human nature have contact with religion, not just Christianity.
That's true. Your president said that he will find a way to insert his name in the Guinness Book of Records.
Look at where
this guy.
This righteous man.
Change your name to TA.
All right. So let's do it this way. I'll give everybody like 2 minutes. Just like a roundup of your thoughts on what we've discussed so far. If there are any suggestions, I know the original topic was about the demand from Africa to their families or friends in the diaspora. Just your submission roundup thoughts in 2-3 minutes. So
Sure. Before you take that, please just give me a second. When you were in Nigeria, what was their thought towards those that are in diaspora?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I left Nigeria when I was 22.
She was born in UK now.
I didn't have any responsibility. I was a young man from a middle class family, so I was comfortable. I was getting an allowance that was more than the national minimum wage.
You ever get an allowance? But they say you from middle class. I swear for you.
No,
rich.
It's not OBO.
Now from rich. Don't mind show. You ask Camus, you say from middle family. No, you are from a rich family, my friend.
OBO.
Middle family, they see allowance. Now what for you?
At that time, if you are getting that allowance at that time, you say you are from a middle class family.
No, you are not.
School fees.
So you are not from middle class. You are from a super rich family.
No, we were not super rich. My screen has frozen. I'm trying to join on my phone so that it doesn't look like
man, sorry, man.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So you guys can still hear me, but let me just join on my phone. My screen has frozen. 1 second.
Why is your screen always frozen?
Do I know?
I'm sure the way the thing froze you, like, can't make you look like forefather.
Abi, this is a UK network. I beg you should improve on your network in that UK.
No. It's not the. Sorry, I'm just echoing. It's nothing to do with the network. What's it called? It's my MacBook. It's going back to where it's come from. So Righteous Man, to answer your question, I was not asking anybody for anything. Not because I didn't have siblings in the UK or relatives in the UK. I had people in the UK, you understand, and in the US and all over. When the mobile phone came out in 2001, everybody could call everybody and ask for stuff. The only thing I requested from anybody in the Western world was a tennis racket, because I played a lot of tennis. When I was younger, I played tennis, competed, and here and there. So I asked someone, a relative, a very close relative, for a tennis racket, and he gave me story upon story upon story, and I left it at that. So I wasn't particularly asking people for stuff, and I know that you can't use my case as a typical case, not because even that I was getting allowance. Let's even forget allowance. I was 22. I didn't have a family. I didn't have anybody to feed. So my bukata, as they call it, wasn't much. So I'm not the exact person you want to ask. Maybe you want to ask people who left Nigeria when they were much older. That, because I said it myself. It's a pity that Righteous Man is not here. I said it earlier. When I started the show, I said, let's be fair to people in Nigeria. Because some of us left after 2001 when there was mobile phone and we could call our relatives easily. Not the days of Nitel, go to 3 houses and say, oh, there's a phone call for you from Nitel. Hold on, run to call your daddy. We'll call back in 5 minutes. It wasn't that. After 2001, there was mobile phone, and a lot of people now in the Western world had access to mobile phone and were calling people to ask for help then. So I said it. So I'm not trying to be hypocritical. So, I made that clear that some of us asked people. So let's reflect before we complain about people asking us. Were we in their shoes a few years ago? I wasn't, because I didn't have anybody to feed. I had no children. I had nothing. I was just a young man that was just roaming the street of Ibadan. You understand? So that's my story. So Righteous Man, in case you were listening, I didn't have anybody to. I had no children, no wife, in fact, no girlfriend. I was enjoying my life all by myself. But anyway, I'll pass the mic to you. Okay. Oh, my laptop is back. Okay, let me comment through that. So anyway, I'll pass the mic to you.
For finance.
Yeah, just final submission. Let's just, this thing is saying I should end it. I don't want to end it. We'll just leave studio. All right, so go ahead, please. Just your final submission.
Okay, yeah. What I'm gonna say, we've discussed a lot of stuff, right? So I think just one thing I will pick from what Steph said, you gotta manage people's expectation.
See, Righteous Man, they enter one laptop, one phone. See, who is the big man now?
I'll let you get to screen.
Yeah, sorry, anyway, continue.
Yes, basically you got to manage people's expectation, right?
Mm-hmm.
The point I really want us to take away here is we will definitely help our family back home, friends, family, but they should also know that these people are working hard for their money. When they are able to assist you with your basic need, you sit up and try and work hard. If somebody is able to give you help, hey, take this money, start a business, you got to protect the money, work hard to make sure you do better to encourage the person. Even if the person is going to give you anything some other time, just try to do better, because we are also human, and we also looking forward. Like it's not, money should not be relationship between family and friends only. Even without money is involved, you can have a better relationship, like checking on us in abroad. Hey, my brother, how are you doing? How is family? How is everything? It's a lot. To me, I generally don't like having a relationship with somebody because of money. For example, you are my brother. It's not because of money. You are my friend. It's not. If you are my friend because of money, you are gone. I'm telling you, because of material things. But I have natural friends. I know tomorrow, even if I have nothing, they are still my friends. My primary school friends, I have them. Even I'm the president of Nigeria tomorrow, they will be my friend. That's the kind of friends I want. And I think that's the kind of friend people want too. So
Alright.
it's not because something is evolved. Of course, my siblings, we grew up like children, right? We had we had nothing, right? So money should not be our the thing that bring us together. You know, we can do better. Even in the world when there was no money, most of our father used to like do change by barter, they call it, right? Like they still live their life. So the thing is, we all need to do better. Yes, help people, but manage your expectation again,
All
you
right.
know. And the other thing, don't let them abuse what you're doing for them, and just make sure you protect your environment. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, AY. All right, Blackstone, in summary, AY don't smack am for live television. We will go collect the picking from you, no worry. We will collect
You
the
cash out,
Blackstone,
Abi.
sorry, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Anyway, it has been an interesting conversation, right? And yeah, in summary, let's now today in Nigeria, things are really, really tough, right? And if we can be able to be of help to siblings, family members who are not able to support themselves, you know, we should try and do our best, right? But they should not take it as a major, that is our responsibility. Those in diaspora should be, there's a major responsibility to care for them. We are here to support a little to some extent because we also have our own responsibility over here. Most of us as family, children, also we are caring for, you know. And we should also try to encourage anyone who want to try to do something, to learn something, want to study, want to start up with business, like Steps said. We can be able to try to have guided through and see what business are they establishing, how viable is that business, and also try to make it known to them concrete that if you are investing on them in this business, it is then after that they should not come back to you and ask for anything, right? And then so so definitely these issues differ from family to families, you know, and so we should try our best. We have friends who are not there, you know, cannot actually meet their demand, or who are not working, their work are not there, who are not even who have no training in anything, right? And if we can be able to support them to have a training to do things, let's try and do that, right? And then and those at home should not take it as maybe we are the ATM for them over there, right? So they don't understand that the best we can do, we try to do. And when we cannot do it, let us understand that because things are not also easy, right? We don't plug the money from the tree. Everybody work hard, everybody earn salary. The salary earners have his responsibility. After carrying your responsibility, how much is left for you to survive till the end of the month? So that's those in the at home to understand that yeah, you can call. Don't be a friend for money purpose. Just don't be a friend because you need money. You call. Yeah, at least check on your friends. Check on people who are here. You know, at least even try to encourage them. You understand me, right? So every country have its own peculiar problem. You know, so not only because in Nigeria, though it is much more tougher. But anyway, we also have our issues, our problems are so them. Let them also understand that when we cannot support, let them not say because we are wicked or don't want to do it. Just because sometimes the circumstances at that moment does not allow us to give that support. You understand me? So let them understand that, and then we are all humans anyway. So we feel for them in Nigeria. That's why we come here all the time to talk about Nigeria. Not that we don't feel for them, we feel for them, and so we are also trying our best to see that things get better for them, things work better for them. But let them not take it as maybe an opportunity to keep on scamming us, No, always coming back for what where to take where they do not sow. so that's it, like that,
Thank
right?
You.
So that's
Thank you, Dave Blackstone. Thank you very much,
Really?
Paul. Round up thoughts.
Yeah, I really like this topic, and it's just so painful because the only time that I'm so happy that I help friend or family member that I see the profits that have changed life tremendously. If I tell you, you will not believe. I succeeded in making them travel to the US. They are living here. But everybody that I help back home, I didn't really see a lot of change like I want it to be. I've tried, and I'm saying it if they will see this video somewhere, someday, sometime. Even to my siblings, my niece and my nephew, pushing them to school, channeling their career the way I want it to be, because I have intention of bringing them here. I'm just done getting tired of trying to help people back home. And it pains me a lot because I like home. I travel home all the time. I go to Nigeria. I went last year. I went last 2 years. I didn't go this year. I went to Show's country and they didn't even welcome me there. So I really like home. I really like home. And I'm the type who try to do businesses, if not the dollar thing. I ship nothing less than 3, 4, 5 containers every year to Nigeria. To tell you that I touch base, I talk to people. Sometimes it pains me when I'm dealing with stranger, not deal with family member. It pains me when I deal with stranger, not deal with so-called childhood friends. People, and the funny part of it, these are people that will tell you business. But I tell them, go study, go learn this thing before you want to tell me. Then when you finish say you want to learn, I say you start it and grow with it. You understand? I can help you expand it. But when you want to use my money all the time to become an experiment, sometimes it pains me. Why did it pain me? We are very spiritual people from that part of the world. I don't want them to say it every time they use my money, they never use it well. My money is bad money. Every time you give them this money, the money never does anything. And you can't ask question. Before I leave, I have a childhood friend who sent me a message on Tuesday. I went to pick my daughter from the school. He's doing well in a very big school in Abuja. I went to see the former vice president, big school, and he's setting up his own organization. And they sent me if I can support. He's raising funds and everything in Abuja. He's looking for, I think, $13,200. But when you send me all this message, everything is chat. He didn't call me, no nothing. And I saw the whole thing. He put himself there as director, his wife director, his sister director, and everything. He did not even propose business proposal to me. But my own duty is to just crowd fund, dashing money, and go away. You understand? So sometimes their submission, their presentation, the way they even talk to you about business, it just doesn't sound good. How do you tell me to, if you use my money and you do well tomorrow, if I talk, you look like I call you out on social media. You did not even propose business. Let me say, well, I'm not into that business, but I will see how I can support your business. No, he did not do that. And he just sent a text message to me. You understand? Lengthy text messages and everything. That is it. No need to call, no need to understand the mood that I am before you want to talk all those type of things. So they even micromanage their credit, their information when they want to even sell proposal to you. So I'm telling righteous man, and I'm also telling that my fellow Nigerians and other people, that is not how to propose things to people. That's my take.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for your submission. Steph, we'll come to you. Rounding up on the main topic while we're here, your final thoughts, any piece of advice to people in Nigeria and the people in the diaspora as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. The only thing I can conclude with is you should keep on trying and different tactics and not to give up, because you can't really be happy here or wherever you are if the people you left behind are not happy. That's the truth, But like I said earlier, try to see what works out for you. And there's no way you can satisfy everybody's demand. You know, I've had somebody who, my niece, that was last 3 years. He said he wants to start a business, and I said, okay, have you learned the business? He said he wants to go and learn it. After like 3 months, he said he had finished learning it. I said, really?
It was
You
a
finished
crash
learning it
course.
after 3 months?
A crash course you do now.
You know, so maybe that's the reason why I've not really had maybe I've been somehow averse to, you know, helping out when it comes to business proposal. But when it comes to handiwork, those are the areas, or maybe like I said, the borehole issue. I have to dig a borehole, buy pumping machine, buy the tanks and stuff like, you know, that is just to manage the cash flow. You understand? Or the kind of the tailoring store that I have to buy the equipment. I'm very, very concerned when it comes to business, because you're going to do a tough job convincing me that you know everything about that business, and you know, stuff like that one is going to be hard for me to buy into it, because I've been involved in one or two businesses and I know that it's hard. It's going to be hard for you to convince me that, you know, but whatever works for you, but we'll never give up. That's the summary. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Steph. Righteous Man, final submission on this Nigeria abroad. You're muted. Your final submission on this Nigeria and abroad relationship.
Yeah, sure. This show is very interesting, and I would always love to join it. You know, very calm, very articulate. So I really give you a hand. You and AY, you are doing good. Mr. Paul said, righteous man is talking to me and the Nigerians here.
I was waiting for that.
So I want to know if I should put a proposal to you, since you have mentioned me in your submission. Should I put a business proposal to you?
No, be Tom you want the ship go America.
If you need Tom, I can supply you Tom, Bitacola, Adire, and the rest of it.
Oh, for
Yeah,
real?
righteous man. I bought a pint of Gary for $24.99 yesterday. In fact, any Nigeria will find me come today, I go hide
Wow,
Gary under bed. I will hide the Gary under bed.
That's very interesting, because if our government, they are thinking well, they can make a lot of billions of dollars by selling our Nigerian products. It's not that our government, they are not planning. No, honestly, if they establish African markets or African shops across Europe and America and Asia, Nigerians will be patronizing it. And before you know it, billions of dollars will be coming into the...
Is it government that will establish African shops?
I wonder.
No,
that's not the
They should
problem.
make it easy for people to.
No, let me tell you. Let me tell you something you guys have to understand.
We're meant to be rounding up.
Hold on first.
Can I explain to you?
Wait.
Righteous man.
Righteous man like taking this conversation. Just tell us your thoughts on what we discussed earlier.
Actually, the problem is the regulation. They just are not able to meet
the
laws and regulations set down in those foreign countries. Like in Europe now, you can hardly send anything from Nigeria. They will hold it at like to Germany. They will hold it at the airport because they will have to check it, verify it if it has met their regulation. For example, banana. You know they have sizes of banana can import to Europe. We have short bananas, small bananas. In Europe, it's not even accepted. So these are the regulations that are there that are affecting Africa export of food items. You know, because we're not being able to actually teach our farmers these regulations and to meet these regulations. That's the most of the lies.
Thank you, righteous man. Please round off. You don't freeze.
Yeah. Do you know that the Chinese government will fund Chinese in Nigeria here? If you go to Alaba International now, hold on, Alaba International, Chinese are owning shops in Alaba International and Trade Fair. Their government funds them.
Chinese people.
Chinese people, Chinese businessmen, they are being funded by their government. They own shops in Alaba right now, as I'm talking to you. They own in Trade Fair. They're competing with these Igbo guys. They're knocking Igbos off from the business, funded by their government.
I don't think it's their government. Chinese have money.
Let's round off. We'll discuss this.
Who's allowing it?
Hey, don't worry. Just go offline. Leave us alone, so that you go sleep.
Oh, me? Yeah, that's what I would
do. We will talk after this program. There are some things I want to share with you. So to round up on this issue, let me say mistakenly, I asked Show how was he feeling when he was in Nigeria about Nigerians that are in diaspora, but he said he left at 22. Well, that's good, and he was earning as at that time. His allowance was given to him by his parent. He was earning above 30,000 naira. And that time I was struggling to raise 1,500 naira for a living. Well, it is good.
Are you trying to make me feel guilty?
Oh God!
Oh my God!
So
finish.
You see, I pleaded with the members of this panel sometimes ago. From my experience, I'm home here. Every day I meet Nigerians. We talk, we discuss. See, the best gift, the best help you can do is to see a way. Any of your relation that has that brightness and it has that charisma, help that person, whatever it will cost you, take him out of Nigeria. Let him go and face the code and suffer also to know how difficult it is to make a living there. That's number one. That's my recommendation. Number two, one of my friends, I recommended to him that he should build a bungalow here and put it on rentage. Whatever rent that he collects there, he will be using it to settle home problem. And the thing is working like a miracle for him. He built a house here, 2 bungalows, self-contained. In a year, he's collecting nothing less than 1.5 million. So he used that money he generates here to settle his family's members that are in Nigeria. So he's no longer sending money from the US. Then number 3, the Bible says we should not be weary in doing good. Anytime you have opportunity to help, that person must not be your brother, must not be your friend. Like I have told you that I have a testimony that shows that God rewards uprightness and doing good. I picked a girl from an uncompleted building. I never knew her from Adam. We were coming back from evening church. In uncompleted building, I saw somebody crying there. I told my wife, let's check what was going on there. It was a girl from Ebonyi State. What happened? He said the sister drove her. I took her back to the sister, pleaded with them. They said no, that they can't take her again. I took this girl to my house. I enrolled her to learn saloon, this making of hair. These girls did the learning for 2 years, graduated. The next year, she got married. As I'm talking to you now, she's living in the house of her own in Lagos here with the husband. I never knew her from anywhere. Helping people, you should consider it as part of your responsibility while you live as a woman on earth. Because you don't know where God will look at, either to bless you directly or your children or your children's children. Because whatever good we do is a seed we have sown. And that seed is going to germinate. One day you will reap of it. So I encourage you, it is not easy where you are. neither is ETC here. The advantage you have there is that you are in a well-structured society and you can make a living faster than those in Nigeria. Please, no matter how painful it is, continue to help your Nigerian brothers, your Nigerian sisters, your Nigerian friends. And the Almighty God that is in heaven, that created you and made it possible for you to travel out of this country, He will remember you and He will continue to uphold you and bless you. In Jesus' name.
So you dey hear,
Amen.
so 70 pounds, so 70 pounds, show you dey hear.
All right, thank you, Righteous Man. Thank you for that powerful submission and the advice you've given. Well noted, and I'm sure people will listen and make use of most of this information that have been shared today. And I would just, in conclusion, also say that the people back home, most especially, they are the ones I have the most advice for or suggestion, because who am I to advise them? They might not know, but if you speak it to a lot of people who live in the West, I've mentioned this earlier and I will say it one more time. Most of the complaints is that of it's almost like we get a cold shoulder. I don't care. That's how most people feel. I'm not saying it's for everybody because individual situation will differ. For majority of the people in the West, I'm talking UK, Canada, China, Sweden, anywhere, even Far East, I call it all West. It's the people back home just think you have everything you need. You don't need anything. Even the simplest of picking up a call. Like I said, you don't have to call these days. Send a voice note on WhatsApp. Guy, how far? It's been a long time. I just thought I'll check on you. How are you? How's your wife? If you know the name of the children, mention their names. It makes them think, oh, this guy still remembers the name of my children. Send them a message on their birthday. Don't ask for anything in return. Those little things that don't cost you much, they go a long way. When your friends, your family come home, dedicate a day and say, I want to take you out. Take them to a restaurant. Take them to a joint. Go eat pepper soup, drink beer for those who drink. Pay the 5,000. It won't kill you. Insist that you pay. The person will remember. Don't just assume that, now you come from Jan, now you come from US, IJGB, as they call us. I just got back, IJGB. Don't treat them like IJGB. These are your family members. They're your friends. So Danshiki and say, give to your son, give to your daughter. So even if it doesn't fit them, if it's not the right size, forget about that. Just tell your tailor, do something for one 8-year-old girl, do something for one 10-year-old boy. Send it, the Ankara material. The man might not take it away from Lagos. He might drop it in his house and say, oh, my friend gave it to me, but it won't fit my children. But he would remember. This attitude of what you give to a man that has everything has to stop. Buy him 2 bottles of granules and say, take with you. When you hear in the news that there's a snowstorm in New York or in whatever, text your friend and say, the last time we spoke, it's been about 4 years, you went to New York. I hope this snow is not affecting you. He will be very happy. She will be very happy. And they will tell you, I don't move go Texas. I don't move go somewhere. It's hotter there. Oh, no snow. But they would appreciate it. Don't just think you're the only one going through stuff. Your friend might be a contractor. And I'm saying this from personal experience. Your friend might be a contractor who is not in a permanent employment. Yes, it's high risk, high reward. But as a contractor, most of you would know, you might be out of work. There was a year I was out of work for 10 months, out of 12 months. As a contractor, I just couldn't get my next contract. I had to live on what I'd made over the years as a contractor. If I don't tell anybody, they won't know. But let the people in Africa, check on your friends. How's work? That's a simple question. How's work? You never know. They might even tell you that guy, that because I know Toku, I've not worked all this while. Then you can now check on them. If you are the type that pray, that you know that they believe, you can now say, God will, all those little things, they go a long way. Don't assume your friend or family in the UK and US and Canada are doing fine. Stop assuming. Show them that you care. And to those of us in the West, I think the major takeaway will be to manage expectations. We need So send us fresh ogbono, please. We would appreciate it. This is what somebody said. How much is ogbono? Everybody has a blender here. You have food processor. Send them the seeds that's not been blended. Send, buy 1,000 naira ogbono. Let them go and blend it with their whatever, blender. Things are simple like that. Egusi, send egusi to them. Fresh melon, let them blend it. It's not, nobody is saying go and spend 50K. Spend 2K. Buy fish. Is it something fish? Mangala fish, Abi mangala. Buy that fish. Wrap it for them. Like I said, some of these things they might not even take away from Nigeria, but that's not your business. Buy it for them. Let them, and for those of us here, I have friends, colleagues who've made the mistake of, out of excitement, they tell their siblings, imagine now, say your younger brother who you are only 2 years older than, or your older brother who's only 2 years, you grew up together, you're like best friends. You get a job and you go and tell him, I just land this job, or more forget now, 72,000 pounds a year. Please don't do it. Don't. The only person that needs to know your salary is you and your wife, and that's it, full stop. You tell somebody out of excitement that your brother tells his wife, the wife tells the best friend, now everybody knows how much you earn. They will now say somebody needs 100,000 naira. You now say you don't have. They will not calculate your money. They won't consider the tax. They won't consider what you're paying back on your car. They won't consider what you're paying as in the UK. You pay TV license to have a TV. You pay tax on it. You pay road tax on your car. You do MOT. My tire go carry nail the other day. Because he carried tire, for me just to go to the garage, I said, let them come and fix it at home. Alford's, with the tire and everything, it cost me 200 pounds. One tire. We go carry nail. One tire. Now KFC I go buy for my madam. Down the road, I supposed to walk out, go buy that KFC. I drove, I came back. Tire was gone. 200 pounds. So don't ask. So all these things, they don't know that you spend this money. But the minute you go and tell somebody your salary, you are looking for problem. Because they will calculate. I beg somebody calculate 72,000 by 1,000. That's crazy money you're talking about. So stop telling people your salaries and manage expectations. If somebody asks you for something, don't promise what you can't give. Guy, I know get. Like Steph said, I love it. See, all this give me 10 pounds today, 20 pounds today. I don't have it. Give me the next 1 year. You and I, let's run it. Think about what you want to do. I would also suggest what I think you should do. Give me the next 1 year. Let me put the money together and set you up. And I know that way you're not coming back to me. So we also have a job to do. And sometimes you probably have to nudge your friends and family and say, not only you they collect. You say buy Oporoko now. You say buy something for me. Maybe you have to nudge them sometimes. So both of us, from both sides, we have work to do. At the end of the day, we're families, we're friends. We can't deny each other and say we don't know each other, but we have to manage the relationship in a very good way to avoid missing people's calls intentionally. You see their call and you just know that the only time they call me is for money. They never call to check on you. Let that change. So all of us have work to do. And I hope that as we make improvements, we'll improve the relationship that we share. Because it's nice to hear from people from back home. It's really nice, they have a different perspective. They'll give you some gist. You're like, oh my God, that guy is still there for area. That man, that woman never died. She's like 100 years old. They will gist you. So I always like to catch up with friends, but I learned my lessons quickly. 2004, I sent 100 pounds, 50 pounds to somebody who said his mom was 60. And I came to the UK not too long, and I said, oh, let me send him 50 pounds. The guy said, that's like sending 50 naira now. It's like, yeah, that's what he said to me. And I learned quickly, very quickly, 2004. Like, I know they send money to all these people. So you're telling me 50 pounds in London is like 50 pounds in Nigeria. Even then, the exchange was 250 to 1. But in his mind, it's like, it's 50 naira. So, stop this entitlement and all these things. We all have to do better, but if you leave me, I'll talk till I go blue in the face. Guys, thank you for joining me. All those who are watching and those who will watch later, please like the broadcast. What it would do is it would encourage. It would make YouTube suggest it to other people. So if you like the broadcast, even if you don't agree with everything we've said, don't worry. Just click on the like button. so that YouTube can suggest it to other people. Thank you very much, Blackstone. Thank you, Paul.
Anybody stay at the
I'm
backstage?
gonna leave the broadcast. I'm gonna end the stream. But
Leave it.
you
Just
guys
end it.
behind backstage for for gists.
No, for
Make I
AY.
see.
Carry on.
Make I see if Blackstone will give me money. I know fish.
Exactly. So I just want to thank everybody, the guys in the comment section, Kerry Bar,
Even Paul, sir,
Peter
they throw
Pan,
me
Tope
some
O,
dollar.
Fad. There was Henry Johnson who came. I put him on timeout because he was I think he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. He came and he said, "We are all fools. There are no schools in Nigeria. There are bad roads, and we're here talking rubbish." And he carried on, and I just put him on 15 minutes timeout. But thank you, Boom Boom Ray, Lighthouse. With God, all things are possible. I'm not sure I've missed anyone, but if I've missed you, apologies. It's not intentional. But thank you all for rocking with me tonight. Maybe depends on how I feel. Maybe once in a while I'll do shows like this. It won't float everybody's boat. One day I might wake up and come and discuss football. That you call it soccer, and
Yes,
I love football. So I might come and discuss football. It might just be me. Nobody might join, but that's fine. So maybe once a week I'll look for something that interests me and that might interest a few people, and I will discuss. But yeah, thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure.
So do you know the funny part of it? We'll stay in America when people call it soccer. We'll argue with them that it's football. That thing that you people are playing with your hand, so you can't call it football.
They play
We'll
with the
argue.
hands more than the foot.
But sure, let me not make you laugh. Then when we are talking to you people in UK, we'll call it soccer.
Just to annoy us. God is watching all of you. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. I'll play the outro music. Let me see if I can find it. Let me be like my Oga. Dr. Damages will be back soon, guys. And I think Peter Obi is coming very, very soon. Very, 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 very soon. So all your
Dr.
questions.
Damages has some fresh bangada is pounding.
I saw the video too.
He's
I told him,
enjoying his best
I said
life.
they bought you fresh Dunlop slippers. They love you in that house. He was wearing fresh Dunlop slippers. No, it's not for everybody. Where's this music? Okay, I found it. Oh, okay. So, all right. On this.
Tó fẹ́ kú torí ẹ̀ o.